this way, I believe. Didn't I?
Totally just got a bunch of badge.
I am sitting here.
Gotta be
I'm sitting here. I am.
Nothing I can do that will convince you. You can't convince a flat earther, so I think that's where the conversation kind of ends.
Well, you can't convince a round earther, but
I would never lick her little cooter.
No.
No, I think she loves sex like a lot, and
No, I know Sarah loves sex.
Yeah.
Hey, we are live. Welcome everybody. You got Ashley, aka not your everyday Ashley, XOXO, and Sarah, the Raging Tomato. Tonight we have Mr. Slave and his queen, Nicole. We're gonna do some Q&A. We're gonna kind of get to know the people underneath it all. So welcome, Nicole. Welcome, Mr. Slave. Introduce the audience a little bit to yourselves if they don't know already, and kind of tell us a little bit about your lifestyle, yourselves, and what you're doing here tonight.
Okay. My name is Nicole. I live in New York. I'm a professional dominatrix as well as an interior designer. This is one of my slaves. And he's into this YouTube stuff, so he asked me to do this, and I said no because all of his ideas are stupid. But I finally just said fine. So I have no idea what to expect. I'm sorry. I have not seen your shows. I don't really watch YouTube that much.
Don't be sorry.
Okay.
We're glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Is that the Poochie? Is that the little famous dog that always gets on the stream?
I'm so sorry. She's
that's okay.
mean.
We're used to her by this point. We've seen her before.
All right, Mr. Slave, welcome. Thank you also for coming on here tonight. We appreciate it. So I wanted to ask, again, like I've seen you guys some on live streams here and there. How did the two of you meet, if you're comfortable talking about that? And then kind of how did this relationship kind of transpire between the two of you?
He reached out to me on Instagram, actually. I used to have a Dom's Instagram account before it got taken down. And asked me basically just to be my slave. And it's not uncommon for me to get that. So I said, yeah. And I was like, okay, you could like start by doing like my laundry. And I had him to like send me like identification and stuff like that, because I'm not going to just have a random stranger just show up at my door.
Right.
So he like sent me his ID and stuff like that, and he started by doing my laundry, and he's still doing my laundry
to this day. How long ago was that?
That was in the beginning of this summer. I don't know.
So less than a year.
May maybe? Yeah.
May.
Less than a year.
Now, does he do more than the laundry now?
Yeah. He does. Well, he got me very upset the other day, so I volunteered him to my friends. So he cooked my friend's dog food and did the laundry for the dungeon. And what else? He takes some of my shoes to get fixed sometimes. He drives me wherever I need to go, or drives me and my friend around.
Now, what did he do?
What's the dungeon?
To get...
What's the dungeon?
Oh yeah, what's the dungeon?
So a dungeon is, and that's where sessions take place. BDSM sessions.
Nice.
So you participate in BDSM sessions with Mr. Slave in the dungeon?
No. So originally I actually told him, because I charge for that, for BDSM, I charge hourly, and I told him that, and he goes, no, he's like, I don't want a session, I just want to serve you. And I was like, ooh, sorry. And so that's when I told him that he can just do my laundry. So yeah, he actually does not pay me but other clients do. So that
Yeah.
will be those sessions will be performed in the dungeon. Yeah.
So he did say one time, I remember he said he doesn't pay you, but like every now and then he has helped you out, like here or there. And if there's anything you don't want to talk about, like I said, backstream, we don't have
completely
to.
open.
Okay.
Help me out.
Like paid maybe a bill or here or there or something like that.
No.
He said something along those. I was trying to remember exactly. My apologies.
I paid for the shrooms.
He paid for a $40 chocolate bar of.
Willy Wonka style. I like it.
Yeah, no, he didn't pay for bills. He paid for groceries one time, and pays for the laundry. That's about it.
You know, those are necessities to live, though. So I
Yeah.
dig here for it. Sarah, I'm sorry you had a question and I interrupted you.
Oh, that's okay. I was just curious, what did he do to get in trouble?
He neglected to respond to my message.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. I messaged him and he didn't respond. So the next morning I texted him asking if he was alive, and he said that he was alive. So I was very upset that he was alive and didn't respond to my message.
Now what if something bad had happened? Would you have felt bad then?
That's exactly why I was mad, because something bad could have
Oh,
happened.
because you were concerned. I see. Now, Mr. Slave,
No.
why did you not respond?
No, you got it reversed. She was worried that if something would have happened to her and I was not responding, that is the problem. If I would have died, that's not an issue.
Okay.
This was very self-serving. I see.
Exactly.
I get it. I like it. I like it even more.
That's what a slave is.
Mr. Slave,
I'm not familiar with the lifestyle, so I'm so curious, but I love it. I'm here for it. Go ahead, Sarah.
I'm in. Now, why did you not respond?
It's because of a glitch in Instagram that it never makes a sound when a message comes in. I just always have to check messages on Instagram. It's terrible. And I don't know what to do about it. Like no matter what I do, it doesn't make a beep. I don't know what to do with it. So sometimes, once it happened. So I don't know what to do.
Is there a punishment for this?
Well,
there was. Remember, he had to do work for her friends.
Yeah, I volunteered.
Oh, that's what that part was. My apologies.
Now, so do you spend your day just checking Instagram just in case?
Yes. I always do, but now even more. More
so
vigilant.
So why did you not think to check it the other day? I haven't heard from my queen. Maybe I should check and see if she said anything.
I mean, usually she doesn't communicate with me. She communicates with me towards the weekend, because I come to do the laundry on the weekends. During the week, not so much. But we were talking, and at 9 p.m., I sent her the last message, and I didn't think that another message would come in. I mean, obviously I would have been delighted to see the message and respond. I always really enjoy any communication with her. It's what I live for. It's so much fun. Even now that I'm being punished and I had to do the laundry for the dungeon, that's even more fun. I just want to be, any part in her life is fun for me.
Really?
Is the dungeon laundry a lot grosser than her laundry?
That's even that's more fun.
Are there funny stains on the laundry, the dungeon laundry, blood?
He lost the collar, which now we have to figure out how to get back from the laundry room. There's one of the other doms. She had a little sissy collar for her clients that said her name, Sissy, and it was pink and frilly, and he lost it. So now we have to figure out how to get it back.
I mean,
what does the dungeon room look like?
It's dark. It has a bed and then all the equipment there. So it's like a studio apartment, so it has like a kitchen, a bathroom, and yeah, all of our equipment. So we have like a whole lineup of sissy clothes. We have like diapers and baby stuff for those clients. We have all kinds of whips, chains, handcuffs, shackles, paddles, canes, bullwhips,
Damn.
anything that we would need for nipple
Excuse me.
clamp.
I just got a little excited. I might have to
clamp.
walk away for a minute.
Yeah.
So is it true
Now-
about safe words? Like there's a safe word, right? Is that true? Like does each person actually have a safe word, or is that like
Depending
like
on the
choice?
client, like so for like extreme clients, I'll ask them first. I'll be like, do you want a safe word? And a lot of the times they'll say yeah, and I'll let them make it up themselves. A lot of times it's like red, or sometimes they'll say something stupid like pineapple or something, but I let them choose it themselves.
What's
Okay,
the
gotcha.
dumbest or silliest safe word you've ever heard?
I'm trying to remember. It was really dumb, but it was probably like something so random like pineapple or something like that.
Wait,
I
can I
Means
ask a question?
marshmallows and fluffy tails.
Oh, hold on, wait. I have a question.
Mhm.
So, like, I had an issue because on Halloween we went to a party, and she gave me a way to get whipped, but with a ball gag in my mouth. So I couldn't even indicate that I'm dying of pain.
But it's not about you. It's about her, right?
I didn't have a safe word. I didn't have a safe.
Ever?
No, I don't have a safe anything.
You didn't have a safe grunt or SOS like
Hand signal.
I was crying of pain and bleeding, but
Do
that
you
was
like
no
that?
indication.
He was not bleeding. He was not bleeding. He actually has a very, very low threshold for pain. But I actually usually don't invite him to parties or anything like that. But he was doing my laundry that night, and me and my girlfriend were getting ready, and she was like, "Oh, Slave, you should come." And he was like, "No, no." And she was like, "No, come." And like she basically so he listened to her and bought a ticket last minute, and because he like didn't have a costume or anything, he just went with his chastity ball gag and leash naked.
I love
Yeah.
that.
He
I
was
love
like literally like the star of the party because he was like the only one who showed up naked. Well, for no other reason that he didn't have any notice, but everyone had fun.
When in doubt, just show up naked. That's kind
Right.
of my theory. I like it. I'm with
I
it.
think it's gonna be my new motto. When in doubt,
Yeah.
go naked.
Just show up naked. Nicole, I just have to say,
we
you
go.
look fucking fabulous tonight.
Oh, thank you.
You look absolutely stunning. Would it be
Thank you.
inappropriate for me to ask you to stand up and like just kind of
Do a twirl. Do a twirl.
if you're comfortable with it?
Because Greg's gonna say it in the comments here any minute now.
Oh
Jesus
my.
Christ, that ass!
Good God, woman.
No, you should show
Yeah.
them.
What?
How tall are you, Nicole?
I'm 5'6".
Really?
are,
Are you wearing heels?
Yeah, I have 6-inch
Okay.
heels on.
Damn.
Yeah,
I
I like
love
being taller so that they feel smaller than me.
That's
Oh.
true. That makes sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the relationship that you and that Mr. Slave and you, his queen, have, it's a little bit different than the relationship that I guess you then have with your clients that you take into the dungeon, right?
Well, I've actually
How many clients do you have, or do you have any other ones that serve you in the way Mr. Slave serves you?
He is like my most loyal. I mean, not really loyal, but like he's my most used slave. Because he comes into my home and does my laundry and stuff like that. I'm not gonna have like 9 different people come in and out of my house all day. It's not a safe thing or something that I want for me or my little puppy. So I mean, as long as he's progressively getting better at the laundry. So there's no
Was he
reason
mixing the whites with the colors and the blacks and the towels and the socks were coming out one on their
No,
own?
he's learning finally how to fold everything how I like it. That took a long time.
So real quick, I'm going to interrupt because I have a question of this one. and this one, but hold on, I already know the answer. We are not going to give away any identifying characteristics of Mr. Slave. I am going to open the panel later for anybody that might want to come on and ask questions, but any kind of identifying characteristics such as height, weight, things like that, we're not going to go into for the sake of protecting one's identity. I just wanted to get that out there right away. So anyways, sorry guys, I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that we are going to be respectful on this panel and protect everybody's identity and protect their wishes. And any questions that Nicole or Mr. Slave are not comfortable or willing to answer, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so Nicole, how long, if you're okay answering, have you been involved in being a dominatrix, so to speak?
So back when COVID happened, I lost my job. So I was just like waitressing and bartending temporarily because I'm an interior designer. That's what I went to school for. That was my career. So I was waitressing and bartending temporarily, and then I found this on Craigslist, not even realizing that it was like a dominatrix thing. It just said something like models wanted, and people will pay, like in New York City it's very common, like people will pay people just to like model their clothing because there's so many new brands and stuff like that, and like everyone's like trying to put their stuff out there, so they'll just hire people just for the day or whatever. So I thought it was something like that, and it turned out to be this. And
can you kind of tell the story of how you found out that it turned out to be this? Or
so I met the person who's like who runs like the dungeon and who like runs that company, and they explained to me what it would entail and stuff like that, and I was like a little taken aback, kind of like shy, and I was like, I guess as long as no one like touches me and like I don't have to get naked or anything, I guess I'm okay with like trying it out. And I tried it out, and at first, obviously, it was very traumatizing, very weird to say the least, because you see grown men humiliating themselves at your feet naked. It's crazy the things that I've seen.
I couldn't imagine, yeah.
But like, I mean, at this point, I've been doing it for like a little, like almost 2 years now. So I've seen a lot. So like, I don't get phased as easily. But at first, it was definitely weird, to say the least.
Do you see a lot of the, so I'm just curious, like, do you see a lot of the baby kind of play? Like you're talking about diapers and things like that. Do you see a lot of the men that want to act like babies, literally babies?
It's becoming more common, but I wouldn't say it's like it's much less than half, like maybe like 1/5 or something.
Interesting. What, if you don't mind going into a few details of, and of course, nothing that's gonna, this is all about protection of identity, so no details as far as the person, but some of the things that these people want. Like I'm so curious because I've just heard a tiny bit about this.
I'm happy to tell you whatever you ask. I mean, it really depends on the client. There's so many different kinds of fetishes. For the baby client, they want me to change their diaper. Like one client, he comes in with his own stuff, so he has like a diaper bag of his own, and like he has his own diapers and Desitin and baby powder and So
you literally change him like a baby.
So it's like I'm changing an adult baby.
Wow.
Yeah. So
now, like when they're doing this, are they like moving their feet? Like, because Ashley, I know you and I know how hard it is to fucking change a baby diaper.
I know, but
where you gotta like grab them by their feet. But like, are they very like? I mean, I really want to know: are they getting into baby mode with their feet going all over the place, or are they just kind of like relaxed and allowing you to do that role?
I haven't had any bad babies so far because like most of my clients are very submissive, obviously. Okay. So they like being like good boys. So they'll let me. I'll bathe them like in like the tub. I'll like wash their hair. I'll put baby powder on. I'll change their diaper. Put Desitin. I'll read them like a cardboard book.
Really?
And I'll feed them like a Yoo-hoo bottle. In like a baby bottle, put a pacifier in their mouth and just like stroke their head, and like they'll wear like onesies. Yeah, that's about
Is there a
it.
crib?
Wow.
They're really easy
Is
clients,
there like a
actually, and
baby
I
crib?
really like those clients. I don't have a crib, no. I think they'd probably break
Got you.
cribs
Got.
because
No,
these are
I've actually
40-year-old men.
I've actually seen this before. Like I saw some kind of I think it was a YouTube video and they were talking about this before, and there's actually like adult sized cribs and stuff even that they want to be in and stuff like
There
that.
probably is.
This is a question for Mr. Slave. I know I was on one of Alex's panels one time with you, and you were mentioning that you enjoy kind of like suckling on a breast like you're a baby. Was that accurate?
Yeah. I mean, basically any kink that is BDSM male submissive turns me on. So baby play and like pretending I'm a baby and being treated like a baby, yeah, turns me on.
Now,
Is
why
there a
does that
reason why
turn you?
Is there a reason why you don't want to have these sessions in the dungeon with Nicole? Is it just a different type of relationship you guys have, I guess? I don't know. I'm trying to understand
I
that
don't
part.
know. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know because it is the porn that I watch.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm with Nicole, I just enjoy taking care of her. Nothing else matters. I just want to take care of her. That's all. We're just we're good friends. Yesterday we were laughing so much, and we're always laughing. I try to make her laugh. I try to just give her a good time, make her happy, take care of her. It's like when I'm with her, I mean, I love it when she calls me stupid and when she humiliates me, but it's secondary. I think it's I'm I just like her as a person, as a
I was
friend.
about to say you like her as a person. Yeah. What is it you like most about her as a person? I'm curious. Like what are the
She's
best characteristics for you of
incredibly
Nicole?
enough, she's very nourishing. She's very motherly. Like yesterday, we ate shrooms, so we got high. That's
God, I love shrooms.
no,
I love it.
I was tripping balls last night. I was in a parallel dimension. Yeah, I was.
Screaming, laughing.
Yeah.
He was screaming, laughing on my floor. He was holding his head, screaming, "This is not good. This is not good." Yeah.
If you can be super comfortable hanging out with somebody after eating a shit ton of shrooms, I believe you when you say that you guys have a really good relationship. I believe that.
That's actually the first time that he's ever done shrooms. So
Are you serious, Mr. Slave?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not into drugs at all.
it wasn't planned. Like I made him go buy the chocolate bar for me down at the bodega, and then to thank him for getting it for me, I gave him a piece of it, and he just took it because he just does what I say. And I guess I probably should have been more considerate in that aspect, but yeah, he had an empty stomach. I didn't really realize that, and it hit him really hard.
Best way to go, man. What did you think of it, Mr. Slave? Did you like it?
I actually, because I'm a scientist, so I was in a trance and I realized how it evolved, how psychedelic mushrooms evolved, and it's really mind blowing.
It is.
That's the part that I like the most. So I'll share with you my thoughts.
Please.
So
I always have the best revelations when I've eaten shrooms.
Yeah. Oh, I had another revelation. I'll tell you after that. Anyway, so the revelation. So the shrooms are actually trying to kill you and grow out of you and use your carcass as a substrate for the next generation of shrooms. And then the next animals are going to walk next to your carcass, not realizing it's a carcass because all they're going to see is the shrooms that grew out of your body. They're going to eat them and they're going to walk off and hallucinate and drop dead, and the cycle repeats.
I love it.
So shrooms are trying to kill you.
I want to share my experience really quick. So The first time I ate shrooms, I remember being nervous. I remember being scared. I remember, all these things or whatever, because I'm not really a drug person either. Like, I do enjoy marijuana and I'll drink alcohol, but, and then I have my nicotine habit, which isn't good, but it's there. Anyway, but the first time that I ate shrooms, again, being scared, blah, blah, blah. But I will say immediately the experience to me, I wasn't really, there were times maybe I got a little scared or this or that, but basically the entire experience to me ended up it resulted in I know this sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like you said, I totally understood how the evolution of psychedelics came to be and why we have used these in therapy and experiments and different things like that, because it really truly expanded my mind. It was like I was able to compartmentalize things that have bothered me for a long time and look at them from this outside perspective without any kind of feelings attached, unbiased. And I was able to see it for what it really was. And I felt better about myself and my trauma and things that I'd gone through for probably the next 2 months, And so for me personally, I like to eat shrooms about maybe every 6 months or so. I think it's incredibly therapeutic. And I think that anybody that hasn't tried it, you're missing out. Sorry. I didn't expect shrooms to come up in the convo, but I do have strong feelings on them.
Anyway,
do you agree with any of that?
I mean, I do. If you want the shroom to impact you more, I can tell you that if you do it on, the battery's low. If you do it on an empty stomach, it's much better.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of how most anything is. Hey, Michelle, what's up? How are you? Michelle's so awesome. She's one of our mods. She's a wonderful person. We got a few of our mods in here tonight. We got Unsathis, which is funny because Un and I used to have a little bit of a beef, which really wasn't a true. It wasn't a true beef. I'll say that.
Un just
it
like
was
to
more
talk
of a joke.
shit.
It was more of like, oh, you pissed me off. I'm just gonna be like, you're there, But he's actually cool as shit. Un is cool as shit. I'm glad you guys are here. Hey, Halo. How are you?
Hello.
Good to see you. We got all the people stopping by tonight, guys. I figured we would. All right. So Nicole, I'm just curious, what is your normal weekend? What does your normal weekend look like? Your social life, how do you balance that with like work and everything like this? Because I know you do interior designing too.
Well, that's my career. That's my
correct.
My day job. That's what I do during the day all day. And then I just take on some clients like on the side just for extra cash because it's good cash and it's easy. And then it's just also like having slaves just gets my shit done, like basically. Yeah, my weekends. I'll hang out with friends. I live in New York City, so there's always something going on. There's always parties at, townhouses and I don't know, dinners and stuff like that, clubs, DJs.
It sounds like you live a really interesting, fun lifestyle. Have you always lived in New York City, or is that kind of something that's come up, kind of semi-recently, like over the last few years, or what?
Well, I'm from New York, but I'm from about 40 minutes upstate, so I've always had like access to the city. Like we would just drive in, like 40-minute drive. But I just moved to the city in January, so almost a year ago. So it's interesting. There's always a lot going on, which is getting kind of exhausting.
I bet.
Yeah. So when I don't have any like plans or anything like that, I actually like prefer, like when people ask me like, "Are you doing the same this weekend?" And I'm like, "No, thank God." Like, and I could just like relax in my bed and just.
Girl, I can't even imagine because I get on and do streams, and there are nights when I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not streaming right now. Like, and I'm not, and that's not even, I mean, it is, honestly, streaming is very taxing. Because you've appeared on several streams. Imagine doing it and running your own platform and doing it all the time. It's so much to keep up with, and it is very emotionally and even physically just draining. So I can't imagine doing everything that you do and balancing like your relationships with your slaves. Is Mr. Slave the only slave that you have that serves you in the way he does, or do you have others?
I had one other, but then his house burned down, so he moved to Florida, which is unfortunate because I really liked him. But I mean, I have people in my DMs all the time asking me to be my slave and stuff like that. But he does my laundry. He's reliable, and I know him, so
He's reliable, like he's a car.
so
He's a Volkswagen man.
but yeah, I
I
mean,
love it. Have you gotten to the point basically where you're just like, I'm basically like a hairstylist, right? Who cuts off clients and it's like, I'm booked for a year, man. I'm good. Like no more.
well, I mean, I don't really like book like too much in advance because people like it's like a last call thing. Like I mean, like a last minute thing. People call you like last minute, so it's more of like who has more money kind of thing. Like who's gonna
Yeah.
like be a good client, like do like multiple hours, 2-3 hours, and not give me hassle or give me a tip and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Versus like the people who are going to try to get a discount and stuff like that. I'll obviously just take the better clients.
I want to
Now,
answer this question. Yeah, these people are real. They are legitimate, and this is their lifestyle. Yeah, for sure.
question for you. Is this like a rent a space for this BDSM dungeon, or is it part of like a company that like you're attached to it, or how does that work for you?
I work for a dungeon right now. I stopped working them for a little bit, and then they asked me back because they needed more people. It's actually a rented studio apartment in Manhattan, and we just session out of there. We like decorated it with all the equipment and stuff like that. But there's a few dungeons in New York City.
Nice.
Well, I bet you're a very popular madam, so to speak. You are beautiful. Would you say that the other girls involved in this are as beautiful as you are? Like, are they basically like model types?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Why would you
You
want?
kind of have to be, because these men they're paying a lot of money and they basically just want to drool over your feet, and you're like untouchable to them, basically, like literally, because they can't touch you. They're like, you're basically telling them like, oh, you can never get a girl like me, and like you're humiliating them. That's the kind of stuff that you're saying. So you have to like be hot and have that confidence, like knowing like you're better, or not really better, but like, yeah, basically telling them, because they want to be humiliated. That's why they're paying me, to
Right.
be humiliated and to like be put down and stuff like that. So like
is that kind of part of the BDSM lifestyle in general, is humiliation? Is that a big part of it?
yeah.
I always thought maybe, I honestly don't know. I've never been involved in BDSM, but I'm so fascinated. But I always kind of thought maybe it was kind of more, or my first impression of it, rather, I should say, is that it was more like a pain is pleasure kind of thing. And I know that's part of it, obviously, but would you say that it's more so about the humiliation and domination aspect?
I think it has a lot to do with psychologically. I mean, like maybe in the bedroom, like when you're with your boyfriend or something like that, like it can be a little different, but like with clients, it's when you're paying like that kind of money, I think it has to do with like psychological trauma or something like that, to tell you the truth. But like these people have, like, when I say like a lot of money, like it's stupid money. So like I think that they've kind of exhausted all their other sex options. Like they can get strippers any day of the week, they can get whatever, so they kind of like they want more extreme, and they're just testing their boundaries to see like if they can still like feel anything, kind of thing, I guess. I don't know.
Are you comfortable at all answering this? And it's okay if you're not, but how much would you say is an average like hourly session like rate that you would charge someone?
$350.
And does that depend? Go ahead. $3
or $350
for 1 hour of humiliating.
For an hour, yeah.
Nice. What's the most someone's ever paid you in an hour to do something like this? And should I become involved? I'm just kidding.
Always
research purposes only.
Fantastic.
Actually,
everyone needs a slave. I think all women are goddesses, and all women. It's great. It's great confidence booster for sure. The most I made in a session, in an hour, maybe 1,200.
Do you mind explaining what did that entail? Like for 1,200, what did he want you to do? Some really different things.
Those are they're called pay pigs. So their fetish is to hand over their money to you. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Where
their
can
form
I
of,
yeah,
find
yeah.
them?
that's their Sarah.
They're all over. Believe me, trust me. Go on Twitter.
On my way.
I will say, I just want to address this comment. Believe all women, LOL. She's telling the truth, and these men know what they're doing, and they want this from her. I honestly don't judge this. No shaming, but I mean,
No shame.
she's being honest, and she is. I believe her. I know what you mean, but
Yeah, and
them.
she's been consistent across the streams anyways. Like, you know, a lot of this we've
I've never heard her contradict herself on this. No.
Right. No, never. She just answers questions. You know, she has no prerogative. She has no agenda here. You
Yeah.
know, so there's
Mr.
nothing
Slave,
to.
is Nicole your first queen, or I know you don't like the word master necessarily, but is she the first female that you've been involved in this type of relationship with, or?
I don't have a problem with the word, with any word, but she prefers the name queen.
Oh, I got you. My bad.
She's my first, yeah. And actually, just before we went, I mean, we came on Alex Playing with Fire. I think basically a month before we just started the communication. So, yeah, she's my first.
So before this, I'm assuming you were involved, based on what you've said, that you were involved in watching this type of like pornography or something. And that's kind of what it got you interested, or what made you want to seek out Nicole is kind of where I'm going.
I was traveling the world at the end of COVID, and in my travels, I met a woman, and I told her, for the first time in my life, I told a woman that I am submissive. And the next day or something, we tried something, like she choked me and peed, and I drank it.
Okay.
So yeah, and I loved it. And
Was
then
you well hydrated at the time? Big difference.
Wait, what?
Was it yellow
I was
or
making
clear?
a joke. I said, was she well hydrated at the time? Because there's a big difference in diluted versus concentrated urine. I'm just saying.
Oh, I didn't know that. But it was actually delicious and nutritious. I enjoyed it, enjoyed the flavor, enjoyed the experience. And when I came back home, so I decided to. I didn't decide. I mean, my queen's profile just popped on Tinder. It started on Tinder. I wouldn't even pursued it. I mean, she came up on Tinder, and then she had her Instagram handle, so I DM'd her on Instagram. Yeah, it was, just the luck of the draw.
I like it. I like that. I'm glad you two met, and I'm glad that you're willing to talk about the lifestyle online, because I think it's obviously for a lot of people, it's just shock value, but for a lot of people that you never know are watching, because like right now, for instance, there's 30 in the chat, and probably only 4 or 5 of them are actually making comments, but you always wonder like how many of those people are watching this because they're genuinely curious about getting involved in the lifestyle. So I think that the content that you guys put out there, and I think that being willing to be so open about this lifestyle is, yes, it's entertaining for a lot of people, but it's also really fascinating. It's also educational for a lot of other people. Yes, I went there. I don't care. Everybody has kinks. It's out there, and I guarantee you at least 5 or 6 people watching this right now are going to be looking this shit up and trying to figure out how to do it for themselves. So I'm here for it. I like it. If I was as beautiful as Nicole, I might be trying to do it. Sorry, go ahead.
The reason I recommended to my queen to do this, to go and go on YouTube, is in order at the end of the day to get more clients. That's one of the reasons, because I do believe men like me and maybe some women do exist and are in hiding, just like I was. I still am, actually. So yeah, there's a lot of shame, and so yeah, I believe they exist, and that's the plan. The plan is to get her more clients.
So that is kind of the whole reason why you kind of wanted to come out, so to speak, about this lifestyle, was to help your queen, and then also to maybe help, quote unquote, normalize it, to let other men know that this is possible. There is somebody out there that wants to live this lifestyle and is actively, successfully doing it, and kind of give them the ins and outs, or maybe the confidence to kind of pursue it for themselves.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Because some of it is just debates. I'm a philosopher on top of everything, so I really enjoy debating. Especially right now, I'm studying the socio-psycho phenomenon of veganism, especially ethical veganism. It's incredible. So I'm looking to debate ethical vegans. If anybody can get me on,
I know a couple. I do, actually. I was about to say.
I mean, the most prominent one that's making the most waves is Vegan Gains. I DM'd him. I messaged him. I sent him an email, but no response. So I would love to
I
debate
have
him.
I have one of my subs, and also I would consider like YouTube friend, Juan Carlos. He is a very outspoken vegan. He's also very intelligent. I don't know if he still is currently, but I know that for a few years at least he's been going to medical school. He's a very intelligent young man, and I think that he'd be great. And he's in my Discord. If you'd like me to reach out to him, I'd be more than happy to.
Yes, and you can moderate it, so it's.
That'd be great. Thank you. And
look.
Oh, he doesn't want to. Oh, never mind. Okay. Not interested in debating veganism. Okay. I do know, though, he's a smart man, and he's very, very into being a vegan. But we'll keep looking.
Okay.
I just got a Discord notification. That's probably one. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I thought maybe you would want to. My bad.
Now, Mr. Slave, what is
anything, but I know that he is I just know he's vegan, and I know he's intelligent, and I know Mr. Slave's very intelligent, so it would be a certain type of person, or a caliber of person that would be I think a formidable opponent in a debate with Mr. Slave, because I've seen him in action. I've actually really enjoyed watching a lot of the things where you've really gone off and talked kind of more about your philosophy. You have philosophies, that things that you like to challenge. There was one in particular the other night, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't quite understand it, so I didn't really chime in. But I'm oh, damn it. I'll think of it in a little bit. There was something about, you were debating with Caduceus, aka the Vital Message, on this one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sure. Objective morality.
Yes, thank you. Can you explain that concept to me? Because I was trying to understand what that, I'm sorry if this is taking a turn, but I'm genuinely curious what that means, and why you were asking that, what your thoughts on it are, if you can do that kind of briefly, because I just am curious.
Yes, it's fascinating. So, do you believe that murdering, if a person rapes and murders a 4-year-old girl, would you say that that's wrong?
Well, naturally I would. Right.
Why would you say that? Based on what?
Well, because he took away her like natural born rights as a human, and she did not allow it. She did not request it. It was, taking away her options in that matter. Which is,
and also she's not even of the age where that would be something. She's completely powerless.
Right. Yeah.
So that would be a choiceless crime.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Does that make sense?
Okay. Let me represent him in court. So he never had sex, and if he wouldn't murder her, then she would squeal. So he had to murder her. So, I mean,
obviously, we all think that inherently that's wrong, right? Is that kind of the concept of it, that as human beings we would, for the majority
community
of us,
morale?
Is that kind of what the? And now for the audience, he's not saying he's going to rape and murder a 4-year-old girl. I'm going to probably have to edit this stream, but I'm just saying, this is the debate, and this is why I find it fascinating, because it's really getting at the heart of like Anyway,
So
go
like
ahead.
subjective morality is like my chosen moral code, right? Like it's subjective to me and my frame of reference and my experiences. And, you know, it's whether you believe this comes down to even the concept of abortion, right? It's all subjective to you and the person as the individual. Whereas objective morality, I think, and Mr. Slave, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe objective morality is assumed as a whole. It's part of a community. Like why, when, you know, we migrated to what's now the US and came up with these codes, the Bill of Rights, that is kind of an objective morality because it's community based. It's just, we just kind of agree that this just doesn't sound right to do these things, right? Something to that nature.
Right, but as somebody in the comments said, that would also be subjective. Oh, he says subjective is no, but that's also, I mean, everything is at the end of the day somebody's preference. You have a preference to be pro-abortion, against abortion. You have a preference not to be raped and murdered. The rapist murderer has a preference to be a rapist murderer. The Nazis had a personal preference to be Nazis. The Jews had a personal preference not to be murdered. Everybody has a personal preference. So when a bunch of people have a personal preference not to be murdered, that doesn't become objective morality. That's just a bunch of people have a personal preference that, you know, they agree. It's a social norm. It's a legal system. But it's just a popular opinion. It's just an opinion. So raping and murdering a 4-year-old girl, it's unpopular. It's society would frown upon a guy or anyone who would promote it, who would say that they're for it, or who would say they're not against it. But it's just it's what's popular.
Right, a community-based. It's a community-based morality.
This comment's great. There is no such thing as natural born rights, as nature offers no rights to anyone.
Exactly.
So that's kind of I was just trying to understand the concept behind it. No one here is saying this is right or this is wrong. This is a disclaimer, not the opinions or views of this panel, but we're arguing the subject or just kind of challenging what the definition behind it is. And anyways, I was just really interested in that. I wanted to kind of, personally, I didn't quite understand all of that. Like on subjects like this, Sarah's a lot better than me. Sarah's incredibly well educated. So she's had a lot of, years of classroom talk about all kinds of different subjects like this. If only she were a vegan, you know, she'd be
definitely
great.
Not a vegan. I've got a nice filet mignon sitting in my fridge right now that I didn't eat the other night at dinner.
I believe it.
Sarah, wait a minute.
Provo, come on. We're not. Obviously we all think that raping and murdering children is wrong. Okay. But it's just a deep concept of what does society deem as right or wrong, and then what is actually personal.
Right, and you know what though? Like so many philosophers have debated that just the very concept of morality isn't even existent, right? You know, so that's like you can sit there and say, is morality even real? Like, what is morality?
Go down the rabbit hole. Yeah,
it's a very big rabbit hole. I mean, philosophy and that. Like philosophy, I think, just starts with that question: what is morality? And then, and like you can just like roll into a giant snowball of so many more questions from there. But I mean, objectively,
something as simple as almost what he said, being vegan. Something as simple as eating animal byproducts and not eating animal byproducts. All the way down to, and yes, I know, but all the way down to murder and rape, so to speak. Yes, I mean, obviously there's different levels, but the debate in and of itself was just like, where does this come from? This sense of morality and this sense of right and wrong. Where does it come from, and how do we decide what's punishable by law and like evil and what isn't? And I mean, we know that these are very drastic differences. And obviously as a mother, you know, I would never condone anything that would harm a child. I'm just saying, like, the concept behind it at the core of it is what it was about. But anyways, moving on. Are there any other subjects that you're super interested in debating, Mr. Slave, that you find interesting? Because I'm obsessed with debate. I love it. I think it's so fun to listen to and challenge others' points of views. I love, even if I get fired up or angry about things, sometimes I love it because I think it's a learning experience.
Yeah. But many famous debaters like Andrew from The Crucible and Vegan Gains and others, I would say they're hypocrites. I mean, I don't know if they're lying, if they know that they're lying, but I would say they're not debating in good faith. Most people that debate do not do it in good faith, in my opinion.
I watched that.
agree.
Is that the
I
one
agree,
on
but
Alex's stream where Andrew came over from the Crucible?
Yeah.
And it was you, and it was the second. It was slave number 2, right? Is that the one you were talking about? Where there was
Well,
you?
that's a pretty famous debate. Yeah, Andrew. I don't remember exactly the points of contention, but yeah.
I don't think Andrew even had a point by that point. Like,
right, he didn't have a point. Correct. Yeah.
as soon
he
as you
just
came on excuse me, as soon as
Straight
you
up
came
the
on
street, girl.
stream or screen, I wanted to say both at the same time. I don't know why. But as soon as you popped up, like, he immediately just started this degradation of Mr. Slave. And this is where the no shaming came from, was this stream right there. Like, because you were like, no shaming, no shame, because that's all he was doing, was just shaming you for your preference and your choice of a
Andrew
lifestyle.
impedes his personal beliefs onto everyone else, and that's one reason I'm not a fan at all. But I understand the allure there, because he creates a lot of smoke, and people, really like that. With people accuse me of creating a lot of smoke and stuff too, which we'll get into that another time, and you can argue it all you want. I don't really give a fuck. I just call a spade, and if I go into something in good faith and it ends up turning out that the person's a jackass and acts a certain way, that's not my fault. What am I supposed to do? Just curl up and be Mr. Slave? Not in a debate, but a Mr. Slave, metaphorically, right? Like, no.
So I mean, Andrew was a terrible faith debater. And not just that, I mean, even his most basic point, he said that we are degenerate, which by itself is not true. I mean, what do I do? How am I a degenerate? Because I do my queen's laundry, I'm a degenerate. Because I drive her, I'm a degenerate. Because she saves me from porn, I'm a degenerate. Just the opposite. When I'm with her, I'm not watching porn. She replaces.
Can we elaborate
porn.
on that? What is the significance of that to you?
For me?
The porno thing. What's the significance of her saving you from it? And do you think that it's harmful? I would assume you do, based on your comment. I'm curious.
Yeah, porn is terrible. The worst thing for a guy, at least.
I watch porn, so I'm curious because I don't understand that, I guess.
Porn is a terrible addiction. I mean, it's terrible. Very powerful. I don't get addicted. I've tried drugs and smoking and anything. I don't get addicted to anything, but to porn, it's it's terrible. Very strong.
What if okay, so I'll get personal, but for me obviously personally, I don't watch corn, aka also known as porn. I don't watch it every day. I don't watch it. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it in any way, shape, or form, but I will say I haven't actually had physical what am I trying to say? Relations with anyone in quite a while. So whenever I do get that urge or that need, it helps me achieve my release. Is that a bad thing? I'm honestly curious. I don't understand. Or that's not being addicted to it, I guess.
Right, for men have an addiction. All men. I mean, many channels discuss this. Alex Playing with Fire discusses it, and Kevin Ray Wilder. Everybody basically discusses the harms of porn. It's a known harm for men.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it? I don't understand.
Because you could say that it's at the end of the day, it's very economical. You could say it's more fun than actual sex. Because porn, because
okay.
in porn,
Well, men are visual. Remember, men are visual.
Is that true?
It's not just visual. There's textual stories, just pure text without even font types, just pure text stories online that I just sit and read. That's porn too, and masturbate to that. So porn, so it's not just visual, but it is addictive for men, for me and other men that I know. Everybody struggles with it. So one of the solutions for me is her, and specifically we use a cage, that's one of the purposes of a chastity cage. That's why I like it. That she puts
I don't know what that is.
Let me show. I can
like
show
a chastity belt, kind of.
No,
I have no idea what this is. Yeah.
So it's a metal cage that goes around your.
I'll bring it.
Like your pelvis, like around your waist.
I'm thinking of a whole ass.
That's for women, but for men, a chastity, it goes around your penis and it prevents you from getting an erection.
Oh my goodness! Whoa. Okay. And that's interesting. What's kind of the purpose behind?
Now, what if he did get an erection? Would it like hurt if it?
That's what it prevents you. You can't because it's metal, so it's impossible.
Okay. My mind is. Can you tell? Like my face. I'm over here. Like
I know. I'm just like, let me see.
What? Like
I'm gonna be like
blown away.
I'm secretly Googling this later. Yeah, I didn't either.
I honestly had no idea it existed. Is it like a form of therapy or is it like a form of like BDSM?
It's actually also another fetish. A lot of clients ask me to put this on them and then hold on to the keys. I've had someone on there for a month.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not judging. No shaming. This is like completely news to me.
So this
I love YouTube so fucking much.
And then this goes around your flaccid penis.
Can you get it closer to the camera?
Yeah, I want to see this.
So,
what?
And then that goes around.
Wait, is that balls and penis right there? Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And then, so there's a little hole right here. I don't know if you could see it, and that's where the lock goes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you can't take this off without the key. Is that true?
Well, no, because no. I mean, I can't demonstrate because I don't have
No. You're good. You're good.
It is possible to pull your pee out, but not the balls. So it still is possible to masturbate. It's very difficult. Yeah, it is possible, but it's like when I have it on. So I mean, it's better than nothing. It reminds me of her. I certainly cannot have sex with other women, which is also anyway.
I'm buying one.
It's
wow. Yeah, I'm actually obsessed. I'm obsessed with that. Like, yeah, I agree with you, Stephen David. Like I've heard of chastity belts, but I thought that was a very middle ages thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like for me personally, it was like Robin Hood, King of Thieves. Like
that's what I was thinking too. Ooh, I like this one. C3PO dick.
I love it.
The one that you're referring to is for women. It's like panties. Okay. It's metal panties. And for women slaves, for men who are dominant, who will like lock up their women so that they can't. Yeah.
Whoa! I love. I did just post a StreamYard link. I mean, we may or may not have people come on. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But if we do, you guys StreamYard link is posted. If my mods out there will do me a favor and kind of randomly keep sharing that StreamYard link throughout the chat, that'd be great. I always kind of post it at times like this because we're still in the middle of the conversation, but again, there's going to be people that might decide to join at any point in time, and I want to do it before I forget because I'm getting so into this conversation that I'd probably forget, to be quite honest. Like, I'm very intrigued right now. I heard you guys talk about the chastity cage. I don't know if it was, when was that, Sarah? Like, it might have been like a week ago. I don't remember when it was, but it was sometime quite recently.
I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, I know. Sarah and I go through periods where she'll like binge watch stuff more and I'll binge watch stuff more. Who are we kidding though, Sarah? It's typically me staying up until all hours.
It's you.
I know. I'm obsessed. It's
well,
fine.
usually, and then when you like, I can't even try to go watch anything because usually you've sent something to me. You're like, watch this, watch this, watch this, and watch this, and so it's like, okay, so then I have to spend my time watching what you tell me to watch.
I can tell you. I mean, this came up on Greg Lurik's channel.
Shout out, Greg. We love you.
That was basically all that I was wearing at the party. Just the chastity cage.
And a gag and a leash.
What?
It makes sense now. It makes sense now.
Yeah, now because I was thinking, I was thinking of like the underwear kind.
I was thinking of an entire cage.
No, there was,
I really was.
No, there was no underwear. There was just the chastity, the metal chastity. So you couldn't see his stuff because it was in a metal cage, but you saw his push.
I love that.
It was a very humiliating experience because, like, everybody's dressed. Some people are very well dressed. Some men didn't have a shirt. Some men, doms and men slaves, didn't have shirts. Everybody had pants, long pants. Maybe some guys had short pants. Some women, were in bikinis and attire stuff. But, in front of everybody, she told me, take off your clothes. And I said, really? And she said, yes. And I started taking off my clothes. It was very difficult, but I do as I'm told. And
Good
that's
boy.
it. And I was standing naked. Oh, with my socks and shoes. And just... Yes, it was an experience.
I'm
But
sorry. The middle image of that is so funny.
I think it made her happy. I think you were happy. I mean, she paraded me around for the whole night. So for her,
No, Lily. I had a friend and then also a fellow dom with me also, and we kind of took turns like holding him, and then I put him in the cage. They had a cage there because it's a BDSM party. So I put him in the cage for a while. Then I would take him out on the leash and let people spank him every once in a while, like just random people, because everyone was like, "Oh my god!" So people loved to take turns spanking him.
Oh man, what, fun. Mr. Slave? What is like your favorite thing about Nicole?
I already told you. I mean, everything. She's beautiful. She's a drop dead gorgeous knockout. Just and I love everything about her. The way she talks. I think she has an Irish accent. She denies it. She's not Irish.
I definitely feel like she has an accent.
Yeah, she definitely has an accent.
Yeah, I would have thought like Russian or something like that. So,
Me too. I mean, Serbian, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, your looks too. You have a very exotic look about you. But you were born in the States?
Yeah, I was born and raised in New York, and my parents were born and raised in New York.
Wow.
My great grandparents. I'm Italian, German, and Hungarian.
Italian, German, Hungarian. Okay, that makes sense.
I could tell she's Hungarian. I mean, the Hungarian beauty.
Oh,
sure. Hungarian women are the most beautiful.
But the Italian for the kind of quote unquote darker looks, I can see for sure. Yeah,
I think she has
darker looks with like very European or like Eastern European features.
Yeah, her body's has Italian features because she has beautiful hips and a tushy. She's perfect. I mean, obviously that her personality is amazing. She's actually very kind. She's very loving. She's very understanding. She's very funny. She's perfect. She's just perfect. Perfect angel. But she doesn't. You don't like me calling you an angel. I can call you an angel. Oh, okay.
Oh. Would you guys say that you're, quote unquote relationship? And people say they use relationship as a, I don't know, people kind of cringe from the word if you're not actually like boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife, right? But I think that even at this point in time, we ourselves, all of us on this panel, have a relationship. It depends on how you define relationship. It's obviously any type of what situation or communication or whatever connectivity that you have with certain people. So would you say that the two of you's relationship has evolved and over obviously since May, and then in what ways?
Well, I mean, I think I agree with you in the part where everyone is in a relationship. Like even my coworkers, that's a relationship that I have with her,
Exactly.
him. So, I mean, I don't know. I've began to trust him. Doing these stream things with him, I've actually gotten to know him, because if it wasn't for these streams, honestly, I really didn't care to even talk to him. To be honest, completely
No,
honest.
yeah, I love your honesty. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Nicole? Do you mind elaborating? I'm curious.
I mean, he would just come here and do my laundry, and I had no interest in communicating with him.
You
I'm not.
just like hand him a basket and say go.
I mean, I wouldn't even hand it to him. I would just have everything. I would just have him do it. I'm not attracted to submissive people. I'm very attracted to alpha men. So I wasn't someone who I even cared to engage with. Like I see submissive people on my job all the time, and I'm just so used to it. So I'm just like, yeah, do it for me, whatever. Like I'm used to like men like asking me, oh, can I do this for you? Can I do this for you? Okay, yeah, here. Like, so I wasn't paying him any mind, but spending more time with him, like doing these shows and stuff like that, I'm actually learning that like he like has like, I don't know, like thoughts and feelings and stuff.
He's a person.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Nicole, I relate to that hardcore because doing YouTube streams, especially, I mean, some of the crazy things that we've done lately, but doing these streams has helped me to see a lot of different people that I used to. We tend to kind of look at people as, and I hate to say it, as objects or as things sometimes, even unintentionally, right? It's what purpose can you serve me? Or we dismiss them completely because they're not our type of people and who cares what they think or what they're doing. But I've heard hours and hours of these people talking and going on, and then you realize that there's so much more to them than you ever thought, and that they're deeper than you ever thought. And I will say personally, me watching Mr. Slave in the last few months, well, I don't know, a few months, but definitely the last couple of months, like just watching him off and on things. Like at first I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And then now I'm to the point where this guy is so fucking smart. Like he's brilliant and he has so many thoughts, and just like he schools people sometimes. And then something that's really been interesting to me too is that there have been streams I've seen him on where he acts incredibly dominant, whereas I've never seen him have that authoritative demeanor about him before until, I think it was a few streams ago. I watched him on, I don't remember who or where, but I watched him on that, and I was like, it does make me wonder about your past, Mr. Slave, when you said it wasn't until, your travels, and then you came back after the girl with the pee thing, that you kind of started having more of this submissive or maybe opening up to or accepting that you have this submissive kink that needs to be fed, so to speak. Does that make sense? Smart though, Stephen? Yes, very smart. He's a scientist, like he said. I mean, he really is. He's smart.
Yeah, I've always been submissive. I've always been ashamed of it. I never let anyone know. Basically, when I was traveling, I met this one woman, and I don't know why she asked me, and I told her, and that's it. And she was the first person I confided this in, and
Like
this is the
maybe
second
surrendered
person.
to in a sense.
No, I just told her. I just told her. I never told anyone. I never tell anyone. No one knows this. I mean, since then I have started telling a little bit, but
Hmm.
I didn't change. It's not like I changed. I didn't discover this in me. I always knew this. I was always watching the same porn.
What kind of
So,
porn is that you were watching?
like the BDSM that my queen
I don't know. I
described.
don't watch this porn. I don't know. So basically, the stuff she describes doing in the dungeon or whatever is the kind of porn that you were watching.
Exactly. Like if she
Okay.
would have a camera recording her sessions, that's
Okay.
the porn I watch. And
Interesting.
and probably a little bit more extreme. Like I think maybe she pees on people and they drink it. I would go a couple of steps further.
Mm-hmm.
But
Got you.
yeah, I like being humiliated. Now, about me being dominant, I am. I don't like being dominant. I like being, and I regret. You're referring to wheat waffles. I attacked him. He got, yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
I was anyway. I regret being. I wouldn't say dominant, but being abusive with him. It was a mistake. I don't like being dominant. I like, on Greg's stream you saw. I was I
That's the
was
one on Greg's stream. That's what I'm talking about.
right.
That's the one. Yes.
Right. So I was leading the conversation. I was like the interviewer. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. I like giving everybody a chance to speak. I want to make sure everybody speaks and we hear everyone. And I don't want to take over the conversation. I mean, I am in my life. I am a normal guy. I'm dominant. I'm. I mean, I
Like
know I'm smart.
in your work or your
Yes, at my work and in
yeah.
any scientific endeavor, I know that I could run circles around the most famous scientists of their fields. And in quantum physics, in astrophysics, I can debate them and probably shame them. And I would like to, if you can bring on any astrophysicist. I mean, I could rip them to shreds
That's
on
a
black
little out of my
holes.
scope right now. I kind of stick with like I'll work on that. I'll get back to you.
Anyway, so I know
Um,
I know what I'm worth. In my mind, I am the most accomplished person in this universe, and I am a gift to anyone that interacts with me. I have a lot of self-respect, but when it comes to a beautiful woman, I it comes from the place of I want to take care of her. I want to be emotionally supportive, and I want to give her the self-confidence. That's why I want to be so weak next to her. I want her to humiliate me because I want her to feel good about herself. Right? My queen said that BDSM, being a dominant woman, gives her self-confidence. And that's exactly what I like, what I want to give her. I want to empower her. Like literally what the feminist manifesto is, that is my manifesto. I mean, I really support women. I really view them as beautiful creatures that it is our jobs as men to love them and take care of them and give our lives to them. And
can I interject on that one real quick? Like, why do you feel like you have to completely humiliate yourself in order to empower Nicole or any beautiful female for that matter? Like what
Sarah,
makes
exactly
you
what I was gonna ask. Based.
okay?
I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
so I don't know. and I don't think anyone knows. I don't think there's any research. I mean, I wish there were some research, some academic research on this topic. Why some people become dominant, some people become BDSM submissive. We came up with a theory that it has to do with previous experience, like perhaps childhood experience. So I grew up with an extremely bullying father who abused both me and my mom.
Okay.
So for me, when I see men being dominant towards women, I find it repugnant. It reminds me of that. And when I humiliate myself with a woman, like I fix it. I eradicate the universe of this.
I see. So you're trying to balance the scales by going
Exactly.
exact opposite. Now, but why I mean, I understand why you feel the need to do that because you kind of like suffered that and you endured it and watched it happen to your mother. But what if instead of balancing the scales completely, you just completely change the cycle? You know, instead of like allowing yourself to be degraded or humiliated by another female in order to allow her empowerment, because I think that's kind of going the exact opposite direction of what your intentions are. Instead of that, why not just empower her by, you know, being supportive, being a companion, being there for her, being just her friend? Like you were saying earlier how you guys were just sitting there laughing and just having fun, and it was enjoyable for the both of you. Why can't it stop there? Why does it have to go further? And I'm not, please do not take this as like me like pouncing at you or anything like that. I'm strictly curious. Why can't it stop there? Why do you have to take that extra step?
No, there's no choice. I'm telling you what I do at home alone in the dark. That's the porn I watch. Nothing else turns me on. I mean, it turns me on to watch women humiliating men, hurting men, killing men.
So do you
cooking
think this
them.
is like a justification for your childhood? Like, I need to justify my father's behavior, so therefore I have to justify it by watching a female take down a male physically in some or mentally or emotionally.
I'm fixing the universe. I'm balancing
Well,
the universe.
you're justifying it in your head, right? This is not balancing the scales of the universe, because if it was balancing it, you know, we wouldn't be watching that pendulum go back and forth, because if it just goes back and forth, this is why we have all of these different waves of feminism, right? Because the pendulum swings this way, then it swings that way, then it swings this way. But then when, like, in order to truly justify and balance a scale, you actually don't want that pendulum to swing anymore. You want it to stop. You say the cycle stops here. You say, you know what? I
I'm
refuse to
telling
allow
you,
to see this go
I
further.
don't have control over my fantasies.
Right. I'm not talking about necessarily the fantasies, but like, you're saying to justify the world, the universe is balanced, but in reality, that's all just your reality. That's not a societal reality.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay. So, like you have to maybe think back to sometimes like when you're so, have you ever been like so angry at anything, like so infuriated where like you just like no one can change your mind, nothing can change your mind. So like imagine being a helpless child, being beaten, watching your mother, like the person who gave birth to you, the person who raises you, the person who nurtures you, being beaten. How infuriating, and you can't do anything because you're this helpless little child, you know, like, and now he's like a grown man now, like he can actually do something, but the past is the past. There's nothing he can do to change the past. So now he's trying to reverse what happened by doing this, I guess.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, okay, so let's just pretend that is the case. Okay, that's the preference. Preference is he wants to balance the scales and make the world a better place for women, right? In that aspect, I would say, like, go and support a battered women's home, or go and, you know, lobby for or advocate for you know, abused women's rights or things of that nature. Like that I could understand. That is an actual balance to the scale. That actually is doing something for a societal purpose to help women who were in his mother's position. That I understand. But what I'm saying is, like, there's a big vast difference, like, of what's in his head. And I'm not saying this in a derogatory manner. By all means, this is not disrespectful.
Sarah,
what
we
is
talked
in his
about 4-year-old girls earlier. I think that we're good.
Okay. Well, like, I just want to make sure that I'm not coming off as being argumentative against, like, what your beliefs are, and I don't want you to feel like I'm degrading you by any means. I mean, that's your queen's job anyway. But I think that, you know, like, his sense of balancing the scale is a skewed vision. Like, he believes that's, you know, therefore that's why he watches this porn. That's why he thinks, like, oh, if I go and allow a female to humiliate me, then my mother will be justified in what she had to tolerate. And that, of course, that makes sense, that comes from a traumatized place. That makes sense. But I'm just thinking,
well, everything came from somewhere. But
right, it had to come from some personal experience. I mean, even my own life and things that I believe in come from some type of personal experience. But I just want to, you know, maybe ask the question, like, if you believe that so much, why do you feel the need to be degraded by another female to boost her up? And instead, can you not do other things? For instance, like advocating for, you know, battered women's shelters or rights, or, you know, all these other things.
I'm not going to answer for him, but my opinion on what you're saying is, I think that you're right. I understand where you're coming from, but I think that it all goes back to free will and our choice, and everybody serves a different purpose, so quote unquote. This is the way that, like, he feels he can best serve or fulfill this role for women. And I think I get where you're coming from, though. But I mean, I get where you're coming from, but the line of questioning might err on the side. And I know you don't mean it this way, because I know you. I know you're an intellectual, and I know that you're just trying to understand and kind of understand all the angles and get the who, what, when, where, why. But this is his form and his way of doing that very thing.
It's like self
sacrifice.
Self-sacrifice as well, but also
So
sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
No, that's what I was going to say. He's yes. I mean, what Sarah is saying is 100%. That's healing. So he would actually have to accept what happened, accept the trauma, and learn to heal from it, and learn that what he's doing is never going to change the past. But he, I guess, is still maybe so traumatized that he wants to. He wants to sacrifice himself to take back what was done to his mother. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's driving it. What my queen just said, I mean, I want to cry when she says that. But there's a disconnect. I mean, it's not logical. I want to be literally sacrificed. Like in my fantasies, watching a man, well, usually it's animations, watching a man literally being sacrificed and being cooked as a meal for a woman, that turns me on to a climax. That's the most powerful climax. That is the ultimate porn that I seek, and there's very little of it. But that's what I seek, to literally be sacrificed like an insignificant hamburger for women.
Mr. Slave, do you feel a sense of guilt within yourself over this?
I don't think it's different than any other. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm ashamed. Obviously, this is very. I don't want anyone who knows me to know this, except for my queen. I mean, very few people. I want them to know this. This is I mean, I mean, you saw how Andrew behaved and Alex too. I mean, many men, I consider them beta. I mean, the behavior of Andrew and Alex being dominant and attacking me and humiliating me.
Yeah.
I mean, that is how I would say most men and maybe most of society would treat men like me. So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
it's very difficult. So of course I'm ashamed. Technically, I'm ashamed. Inside my heart, I don't care. I mean, that's who I. What?
Proud?
I don't even say proud. I mean, that's who I am. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not proud of having 5 fingers. I didn't accomplish having 5 fingers.
I love your analogy.
I've never heard that before.
I
I love it.
I'm here for it, and I love it.
I have 5 fingers. I'm not proud of it. I didn't do anything. Actually, I have one more follow-up question to that, and then I'm going to let it rest. Excuse me. Now, do you think that because you, as a child, sat there and kind of watched your mother get beaten and watched, you know, or even were getting beaten yourself, do you think that maybe at that time in your childhood space, you had envisioned, like, what if my mom just did this or said that or you know, told him this or told him that, or, you know, told him to fuck off for all that matters? You know, do you think that maybe you were like kind of subconsciously afraid that, like, God, if she would just pick up and grab her balls and tell him to fuck off, then I wouldn't have to deal with this and she wouldn't have to deal with this, and we could just be a, you know, fucking happy family and go on from here?
Yeah. I mean, she was very submissive, and always she was very accepting of her fate, and she actually sacrificed me, and she always pushed me to defend her. Incredibly enough, I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, really this boils down to, like, kind of your mother's like response and reaction, and or maybe more, I should say, more or less the lack thereof. Like, she wasn't nurturing you, she wasn't taking care of you, she was sacrificing you, and she was letting, you know, your father do all of the walking all over. And that's why you seek a stronger woman, and that's why you bow down to it. That's why you tend to be
That's a
nurtured.
really good point of view, Sarah. That's interesting. I never thought of that.
Wait,
before.
explain that again. Wait, how'd you get to a stronger woman? I missed this
Okay,
step.
okay. I'm sorry. So basically, like, because she had the lack thereof, right? She was lacking in strength. She was lacking in power. She was lacking in the ability to tell your father to fuck the fuck off, right? And because of that, it allowed your father to walk all over her and walk all over you. And you just like you said, she pushed you into that role, right? So then you had to be the you know, the one that took the beatings, or so on and so forth. So because you watched her not stand up and
basically this is your way. This is your way of coping or dealing with it, is by empowering other women. Because your mother didn't have that power.
You're mad at your mom. You're not mad at your dad. You're mad at your mom.
Not mad. You're trying. No, I don't think mad.
Well, not mad.
I don't think
not
mad's
mad.
the right
I'll
word.
take that one back.
I think this is like.
Wait,
I
do you
think this.
understand the mechanics?
I think this is your way of giving her the power that you weren't able to give her as a child.
Yes, because she didn't have it on her own.
You understand it?
Well, she's saying that because your mom was so submissive, that's maybe why you're so attracted to dominant women, because you have witnessed your mom sacrifice her child, which is you. So you admire dominant women?
I admire dominant women?
You like
Almost
to give
like
women
Mr.
that power because your
That
mother
power-
never had the opportunity.
Yeah, the power that you wish your
I'm
mom
trying
would
to-
have had.
You know better
Because
I don't know better. I honestly don't know better.
Right.
I'm
It's a question.
think about it
figuring
this
out
way,
what
though.
to do.
Like,
I don't know.
He needs
Yeah.
therapy.
had Mr. Slave, had your mom had that power, and had your mom not allowed your father to walk all over her, you wouldn't have been
And a
beaten,
abuser.
right? Because if she had stood up for you and nurtured you the way that it should have been, then you would have never been beaten the way you were, or abused, or whatever word you would prefer to use for that case. You
Right,
know,
she
like
never,
It's almost
she never protected me. I was never protected. I was.
exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.
What?
You said you almost died.
Yeah. My father tried to kill me, like almost killed me, at least
Oh,
once.
that's
Anyway,
fucking
but
horrible.
yeah.
I'm so sorry,
He's
Mr. Slave.
I wanted
horrible.
to say the same thing. I'm so sorry too. That's
I'm really
fucking
sorry.
horrible.
That's a very traumatizing childhood, and the fact that you are as brilliant as you are, and you've made your way through life, and you've come about, and you've gone and tried to discover yourself in all of these different ways, that tells me that you're learning from these experiences, and you're trying to avoid being that same person that you saw or had to deal with, and you're trying to your best to get away from that and be your own identity. So good
I'm
for
not,
fucking you.
I'm not trying anything.
It's like a survival.
No, you're not
mechanism.
consciously. No,
it's just like
none of
that.
it.
Not consciously.
Subconsciously, he's just just steering.
Go
the
ahead,
opposite
Nicole. Go
direction.
ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. I just know, like, my mom put me at. She sacrificed me in order to protect herself.
Oh, yeah. That's not.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not even blaming her. I'm just saying
No.
It's just a technicality. That's what happened. That's what I experienced. I was always from
This is
from
making me
my first.
sad.
I
What?
know. It's not
I'm
a
just getting
technicality.
sad.
It's a lack
No,
of
Go ahead,
pa-
Miss. Let Mr.
parenting.
Slave. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, from my first memories, I was never defended by anyone. I was always alone against this complete, I mean, the worst person I could imagine living on this planet. I had to face him from my first memories, from the age of 3. I had to always face him, and she never protected me, and he was abusive towards both of us. Anyway, maybe, I don't know, that created my sexual preference. Who knows?
Maybe
There's no
so.
research on this. I wish I had more data. I am basically the only data point I know. I tried looking. I mean, since I've known my queen, I started researching online. There's zero information on this. Google Scholar has zero papers on the topic. Probably the most important topic, that should concern humanity. There's zero academic research on this, as far as I could tell. So
Interesting.
sorry. So I don't know.
Well, I'm very glad we're talking about it tonight then. And just to clarify to the audience, the panel, and ourselves, Sarah and I do not know. These are just absolute observations and questions and what we're wondering ourselves. I'd like to welcome Self-Made Self. Thank you for joining the panel so much. I appreciate you being here. Did you have any questions?
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Somebody made a comment about black holes and white holes.
Yes, right here. This is Juan Carlos, the one that I said would be a good debate partner
black
for
holes
you.
and white holes. Black holes lead outside of this universe. White holes lead to special. I thought he's actually talking about black holes and actual white holes. These are astrophysical phenomena that I am an expert in. So I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Welcome to the
What's
panel
up?
tonight. Did you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, complaints? Go ahead.
Okay? So I got a lot to unpack here, and then I have like a lot to like a couple questions for him, but I want to make a blanket statement first. Is that childhood traumas do rear their heads late in your adult life? We don't choose what we choose. It comes from our childhood, and childhood traumas in severe natures like this. See, it could have went either way with him. Just on a psychological standpoint, it could have been, he could have been this way, or he could have been a victim, like a victimizer. Now, what we're looking at too is everybody in the world, and this is going to spurg out the chat in the manosphere, and I'll be the first one to say this. everyone does low-key BDSM. And what do I mean by this statement? Everyone does low-key BDSM, because what I've noticed in my dating life, if a woman is very dominant in her life, she's really submissive in the bedroom. And what I hear from a lot of women, the most dominant guys usually are submissive in the bedroom. I'm not saying 100%. It's probably about an 80 rule on that. Now, Mr. Slave, the question I have for you is, without doxing yourself, I know you're in a high level position. You're probably a CEO. You're probably somewhere upper in the upper echelon. For you to be able to do this kind of stuff, it takes money to do this kind of stuff. I know the guys that do. I know the guys that do card play.
He doesn't pay me.
Okay, but it's usually the most dominant guys in their force. So guys that are like CEOs, businessmen, scientists, things like that. And when you're seeing it with the CEOs on Twitter where they're doing card play, you know, having a girl jab off like $500,000 and then berate them over Twitter. So this all runs in the realm. Now, Mr. Slave, are you actually an affluent man?
Wait, you wanted to ask him?
Yeah, I mean, so with that, that's why I was bringing up the trauma part, because that's not always correct, because it's not always affluent men that seek BDSM therapy. I have college kids that come to me with diaper fetishes. Like, it's not an age thing. It doesn't, like, I think it's the affluent part. I think maybe people get bored because they have so much money, so they experiment. But I think that trauma definitely plays a part in it too. Because he actually he's never paid me ever once. He does my pays for my laundry, which is like $5 or something like that. And
He serves you.
I wasn't not insinuating that he's paying you. You know what I mean, like paying you. But I'm just saying he comes from a position of power in life now.
He works for himself.
I mean, in my mind,
really quick, again, we are not doing anything or answering any questions that were.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not.
So
no questions that can identify anyone. Sorry.
Right. So, in my mind, yes, I am very powerful. As far as I'm concerned, I am powerful. But you think it's because of that? I mean, I've had this fetish since my 20s.
I don't think it's just. I think it's a hyperbolic thing. Like I said, what I think was going on is child-induced trauma, and this is the way you're taking out your child-induced trauma, right? But usually, running around in the circles that I run around into with guys that, not saying every guy that's, you know, a powerful guy went through a childhood trauma. I'm just saying that a childhood trauma, it could rear itself like this. That it usually happens around puberty, not in your 20s. So did this happen in your puberty era that you started having these kind of fetishes?
I don't remember. I'm kind of old. As far as I remember, I mean, it's the earliest. I mean, like 25. When I was 25, I was aware of this. Not before. I don't know. I don't know. Look, I honestly don't know what's causing it. And the fact that, I mean, if you're aware of any research, serious research about this, I mean, I'd love
just
to
look into childhood traumas. What you want to look into is severe abuse, childhood traumas, and that can probably.
You have statistics on this?
I do not have statistics on top of my head.
I'm not saying on top. I mean,
real quick,
are there statistics? I don't think there's statistics.
Mr. Slave, we actually all have childhood traumas, each one of us. It depends on the degree. So again, no, not trying to sound like a meme or say anything funny. No shaming, but really no shaming, because I think that each one of us we deal with our childhood traumas in our own way. You know, I think maybe for me, just doing YouTube content is a way to deal with my own childhood trauma, to be quite honest.
I
It
don't
really
know.
is. And that's not we're not even, I mean, you know, I'm just saying that, like, it's just a conversation, but
I mean, I think that it doesn't have to be even from childhood. For instance, I have a client, I typically ask clients all the time, like, how they got into this. And one client said that he got in an argument with his fiance, and she got on a plane to go to Connecticut to go back to see her family because they got in an argument, and the plane crashed, and he devoted his life to serving women because he felt so guilty about what happened.
A PTS-induced
Oh
trauma.
my God. If I like
and
cry, this is going to be the one stream that I cry
No,
on.
you're not gonna
Because
cry.
this is
I'm like,
triggering so much for me right now.
With
he was
somebody
an
that has
adult,
with somebody
but
that
with a
has
child
PTSD,
trauma.
like I have PTSD myself, and
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be
the
from
thing about it
childhood.
is that you do things out of whack when things happen. So like he felt guilty, so it would put him into a PTSD moment. There's more psychology behind this than what you're thinking. You know, like I'm not just saying it's all for one. It was childhood trauma. It could be some dude that
Yeah, for sure.
had his wife go to the grocery store, got hit by a car, and then he turns into this because our psychological minds
not
want.
that there's anything
They don't
wrong
want to be.
with it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just your mind is a really fragile thing, and from breaking, it does certain things. It navigates so
It's
that
like
you're
naturally trying to heal itself.
and protects you
Yeah.
from going through that
Yes.
again.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can
exactly what
say,
Sarah said.
and I can say, Mr. Slave, like what you're talking about, it sounds like the idea that you were not protected as a young child, right? And I can actually relate because there was a point in time where I was not protected by the men around me, by the important figures in my life as a young girl that should have been there to protect me. And because of that, that has like shifted into this self-defense mode. I've got me and that's it. Like I'm going to protect myself and
Sarah,
nobody else is going to be there. Yeah.
You're making such a good point, because remember when I said that it's like it almost brings a woman more into her quote unquote, what the manosphere would call masculine energy.
Yes.
And we're not
Yes.
saying it is. I think that the terms masculine and feminine can be defined different ways.
They can
but
go a lot of different ways. Absolutely.
But in the way that we're speaking right now, you could almost argue that like Mr. Slave has more of a feminine energy,
Yeah,
or that's
absolutely.
the beta energy.
Mr. Slave.
So
I
like,
will
so
say,
when a woman,
yeah, go
when a
ahead.
woman feels like her power is taken away, or that she doesn't have anyone around her that's a good example of what a good dominant or alpha power is, then she's going to step into hers. And the same for a man. I think that's the perfect way to describe that, Sarah. Good job.
Yeah, Sarah.
so
And that's what now we just figured out why you like getting fisted, Sarah.
Not fit. I'm still not keen on that idea. You and Skadoosh keep trying to convince me that fisting's great, and I'm not convinced yet. But
Queen,
Mr. Slave,
Queen, could you tell her
serious,
that fisting is great? Queen.
Hold on. On a serious note, Mr. Slave, I feel you, like, I understand you, like, I really just want to like break down into tears right now, and I'm kind of like holding myself right now.
We don't know, Sarah. We don't
Yeah,
know.
we're all just like
This is just a theory. I honestly
okay,
don't know.
theory.
No,
but
he's right,
but,
Sarah. It's a theory
yeah,
and a conversation.
absolutely.
Go
It's
ahead
a
and finish,
theory.
Mr. Slave.
It's all
Go ahead.
theoretical. But you know, when one person is speaking to another person who's a victim, right? Like, so let's just pretend we're in victim mode. Whether I'm the victim or you're the victim, it doesn't matter. Or Ashley's the victim, or whoever. John on the street's a victim. When you're approaching a victim mode, you tend to put yourself in an empathetic viewpoint, right? Where you understand the experience, you inhale the experience, you sponge the experience, and then from that experience, you say, oh my God, I've been in that position before,
Sarah,
or I under the, yep.
I think maybe part of the disconnect here is that Mr. Slave doesn't view himself as a victim here.
No,
I understand. I know
I'm
that
putting
that's
myself
not,
in the victim experience.
I know, and I understand that, but I think that the whole turn this conversation has taken has kind of almost alluded to that the theory or idea, right? And maybe that's our own self projection onto your lifestyle.
Yes,
and
I
for
am.
that,
I am
our
100. That's
apologies.
kind of where I was getting, because I
Oh,
am
I'm sorry.
like I'm empathizing with him. That's why I keep saying, like, God, I want to cry so bad right now, because I feel like some things that he's saying, and I'm like, wow, I wasn't protected at one point. I wasn't this at one point. I wasn't that at one point, you know, and thus it's turned me into a different aspect, and it's reared my viewpoint on other people, or talking to other people, working with other people, having sex with other people, relationships with other people, and it's turned me to the point of, you know, like, I'm here to protect me and myself alone, you know, whereas like in your aspect, Mr. Slave, like, you are like, you know, somebody else didn't protect you, but you're kind of rearing it in a kind of a different twirl there, where you're trying to almost like redeem that protection by uplifting another female, in finding that female somewhere
Okay,
that
well,
you
let's give
should have
Mr.
had.
Slave a chance to kind of speak his piece for a second here. Sorry,
I honestly look. This is honestly a scientific question, and I don't have data, and I'm just one data point. To come up with a theory based on one data point is, you know, it's silly. And I'm really curious. I'd like to see data. I wish somebody would come, you know, show me data, but there isn't. Because anyway, so that's it. So
Mr. Slade, would you be interested in having this conversation another time after the ability for all of us to do a little research and kind of tackle it again?
I mean, I can give you more data. On Alex's show, there was an Iranian atheist interviewed, you know, like out of the blue, nothing to do with anything. And so this Iranian atheist, he told Alex an interesting story. He said, you know, in Iran, 80% of the women that this guy dated were dominant, super dominant, with that like he was dating one girl, and she told him that she's going to peg him. People who don't know, peg means she's going to wear a dildo and put it up his shaft, up his
Jesus,
up his
stop it,
butt,
sir.
not up his shaft. No. Anyway,
I just got excited on that.
Anyway, so and this Iranian atheist is telling the story to Alex. The girl says to this Iranian atheist during the date, I want to look at how wet I'm getting just from thinking about how I'm going to peg you. And so Alex said, are you sure? 80%? Maybe it's just you. So the guy said, no, I'm a dominant guy. I hate dominant women. I'm telling you the stats that I have in my experience. 80% of women in Iran are super dominant. So Alex asked him, what do you think is causing this? So this Iranian atheist, he says, I think this is what he said. I might be confusing it with what my theory is, but I think he answered, well, Iran is a super chauvinistic country where the men are in control. So it's the women's fantasy, right? It's the opposite of reality. It's the women's fantasy to be dominant. And anyway, so Iran is one country. I think you can see the same in Japan. Most of the feminine dominant porn that I can get my hands on is Japanese. The best feminine dominant porn is Japanese. I mean, if you want to see,
I was told a long time ago I could make a killing in Japan.
Yeah.
Like
what? But no. Let me just finish the thought. So Japan is also an extremely chauvinistic country.
Yes.
So it might be the same that men that live in a chauvinistic country have a fantasy to be submissive. So it might.
Doesn't that
makes
go back?
sense.
Doesn't that go back to what I said earlier about the soft BDSM?
Right. And actually, I did want to chime in at that moment. I couldn't, but I did want to chime in and say, like, yes, I'm very dominant outside the bed, outside in my normal world. I'm very like alpha female. I'm a leader. I'm a this. I'm a that. Like that's just what I do. But when it comes to myself and a man in bed, that's all I want to be is submissive. And I'm pretty sure that I've stayed very true and consistent with that when people say, what do you look for in a man, like on these streams? And my answer is always like, that intellectual, like mental gymnastics kind of concept. But I also thrive on the idea of being submissive. Like, I just want somebody to fucking tell me what to fucking do and lay me down and say, bitch, just roll over and shut up, Like, so yes, like, but in my outside of that, in my real world or whatever you want to call it, like that's where
you're the dominant.
I'm very dominant. Like that's what I do. And I don't think that I'm that way, but other people tell me that I am that way, but I don't view myself as being like that. So
there's a question like so I'll make a statement and I got a question for your queen, dude. So if you want to look into the statistics of this, look into psychology, look into abuse survivors, stuff like that, you probably go along the line of your narrative, Mr. Slave. Now, queen, out of all your clients, how many of those are like, I want a percentage, like if you can give me a percentage, are men that you service as a dominatrix are well off and powerful guys? Just a percentage.
Probably 90
Thank you.
or higher. Yeah. I mean, it's not inexpensive. If you don't like have money, then $300 is a lot for people. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you can spend $300 at so much better things than, I don't know.
Now let's
but if money means nothing to you, then it's
Yeah. And I'm glad you're honest about the percentage of that. So I mean, like, let me ask you another question. So if Sarah pegs you, how would you feel about that, Mr. Slave? Would that be something you're into? Sarah pegging queen?
Wait, Sarah pegging queen?
Yeah.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
if I would see Sarah pegging my queen?
You can't touch. You just have to watch. You sit there chained up while they do it.
No, it's asexual. I wouldn't feel anything.
Gotcha. Now
I see lesbian sex has no effect on me. It's not sex. It's asexual.
So if another man does that to her, how would that would that turn you on?
That's terrific. If it's multiple men, even better. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I see where you're coming from, bro.
Has she ever? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sarah. Go.
I was gonna ask, has she ever had like another man have sex with her while you were watching, or anything kind of like that of any sort?
He wishes. That's called cucking, like cuckold.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. Okay.
But that's one of your fantasies, right, Mr. Slave?
Yeah, of course. That's my favorite porn. Yeah.
So you would.
Wait. Fun turn of topic. Let's go through the panel one by one, and let's explain or just give a very brief description of your favorite kind of porn. So Sarah, starting with you, then me, then Self, and then I think we all know Mr. Slave, but we haven't heard Nicole's unless she doesn't have one. Sarah, your favorite genre of porn is? Go.
Well, I'm actually not a porn person. Now I've been around enough porn stars, being a bartender and all of these things. Like I have pictures of me with Jessie James. Like I feel like she's a veteran now, but
I have a picture with Jessie James.
I know, because you were there that night.
I was. I showed up. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Are you talking about the country singer?
No, the porn star.
Jessie James, the porn star?
Oh.
I don't know of the country singer. Is that a country singer?
Well, the one who's married to Eric Decker, the football player.
Okay.
Jessie James Decker. The country singer?
No, the porn star.
Jessie James, the porn star? Oh, Yiddish. Can you turn off the YouTube? Is that a country singer?
The one who's.
Oh, I got you.
Thank you.
I forgot I had it on.
Anyways, no, Jessie James. It was like, I think they did like a version of Pirates of the Caribbean, but porn style. Anyways, but no, like I don't think I like watch porn. I just don't. I don't know.
All right, moving on. Mine is just
girl on girl. That's hers.
Mine is solo action of dudes. Just solo. You know what I'm talking about. Just solo dude. Exactly. Nicole, do you ever partake in the pornography?
I don't.
All right. Mr. Slave, we know that yours is a very much more explicit version of what we see on stream. Yiddish Police, aka Greg, what's your porn style?
I don't know if I can talk about that. I'm trying to think because I watched some really fucked up porn.
Is this guilt?
I'm curious.
I love the tranny gangbangs. I love when there's like 50 trannies and they're all like going into like the same room, and then like the cameraman just like zooms in, like you get like the best fucking angle, and you just like zooming in. No, I'm kidding, but like
how about the Dutch guy? Suck a cock.
Wait. Greg, I completely met. No, Greg, start over. What's your favorite porn?
I'm gonna be dead serious. I love gangbangs, but like not like just regular gangbangs, like lesbian orgies. When there's like all these lesbians in the same room, and they're just like they're doing crazy shit. They're like 69ing, and then like they're like squirting, and then like you got like fucking like 10 fucking girls coming in and just all like spraying on like the same girl, and then they got like the fucking like, the full attire. It's like a fucking, it's just you don't even know what the fuck is going on. But like,
wait, that turns you on?
Like the squirt actually goes into like the camera, and it's like, choo! It's like fucking like.
Wait, yeah, Greg, hold on, Greg. No, for real, that turns you on?
No, I love it. Yeah, like lesbians. I mean, like straight porn is like. I mean, I make straight porn, so like I can do that. But like lesbian, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to produce lesbian porn. I mean, like,
where the fuck did you get the thing? Yeah? Yes.
Spirit Halloween.
Oh my god.
I know. Great. I worked for like the Black Pill Bachelorette thing. I was like, I gotta fucking do it, you know.
But
right,
yeah.
By the way, I was saying it wrong. It's Jessie Jane.
Wait,
okay, that's what I thought, but I was like,
yeah, I don't know why I was saying like, James. I apologize. I don't know why I was saying Jane.
So, Self, what is your genre? What's your go-to porn genre?
It's gonna be so horrible.
I'm so ready for
it. Do I even
want
to answer this shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to now.
You have to.
Hey, you already did. Listen, Greg, you already told me about your GILF porn, so just calm down over there. Dude, actually, it's the wife watching the husband bang her friend, her girlfriend.
No, I get it.
It's so asexual for me. Jesus.
I suddenly see why he's relatable to Mr. Slave.
No, that's not a cuck thing. He's talking about the dude.
Are you talking
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like. It would be me
but his
banging,
just in like
banging her friend right in front of her.
Okay, I have a confession. Like, do you? This is
is
so
my
weird. Like,
confession.
but do you know those pornos that are like it's like so
It's
embarrassing?
like
But it is. It's
like a
the,
tiny peen.
No, but it is.
Stuff in
It's
the
like
dish.
the
I mean, not the dishwasher.
It's like
stuff
the
in
whole like I
washing
fuck
machine.
my stepmom or I fuck my
Oh
stepsister porn.
God. Oh God.
I mean, maybe sometimes I watch that just a little bit.
Really?
A little bit.
That's 80% of the time.
Yeah, the best.
See, I feel
It
so
pops
lame
up.
because
It pops up and I'm like, oh my god.
Maybe I have such a great imagination. That's why I don't need porn. Like,
okay,
Channing
Sarah,
Tatum.
okay.
Bump, done.
Let me guess. Hey, Ashley, is it the like MILF stepson, all those ones, all those series?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. You got issues, girl. You need to work that shit out.
Actually,
I do. I do.
the best porn is the one with like you guys watch the one that's like Batman or like some shit. It's like some fucking
Yeah. Yes.
shit. Yes, Alf. You know what exactly?
Yes.
Like this shit that we were playing.
You know what I think mine would probably
That's
be?
great, dude.
If I were to watch porn, right? I'm thinking that mine would
I know the
probably be
storyline.
like the plumber comes and says like, I hear you need your drains unclogged, right? Like, because I'm a hands-on, like I'm a handy person. Like I fixed my dryer tonight. Like I build shit. I do stuff with my
He
hands.
orders-
Like this is what I do. So like
Orders a
my
pizza with
porn,
no money. She's like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay you. Let me use my mouth and my ass.
no. Well, no,
Yeah,
it would
that's the
probably be
perfect payment right
opposite.
there.
No. Hold on. Here it is. Here's my ultimate porn fantasy now. Right now, here it is. I am the fucking plumber showing up, and I'm like, hey, boy, I heard you need your pipes drained, right? And look, she took herself off screen.
I'm dead. I'm fucking dead.
That is
Ashley, how much?
I heard you need your pipes drained. Yes, baby, but I
Drain
don't
balls.
know how I'm gonna pay for this. Don't worry, don't you worry about that, baby. I got you. We'll figure something out. That would be my. I'm seriously believing that would be my porn.
Yeah.
Like a hands-on man. Like I'm here to fix your pipes. I'm here to fix your wood. I don't know. Fucking something where he's using. But I would be the one. I would be the carpenter. I would be the.
Ooh. I like that.
I think, Greg, what happened, dude? We ruined Ashley with the porn without the porn.
Oh my god, that was fucking crazy.
Yes.
I will never be able to
turns
watch
into a
Snow White
pumpkin
the
at
same again. Like,
Yeah. Sarah turns into a pumpkin late at night and never comes on stream with us. Yeah, we're watching porn without the porn.
Yeah, that was great, dude. That was fucking legendary.
You mean I go to
That
bed
was
at night?
great shit, dude. I'm all for it, man. That shit was great. Oh my god.
I'm dying. I'm sorry. I'm dying. Oh my god.
They gotta make
Now the greatest porn star ever, which is going to be a nod to Mr. Slave over here, is Jamie Gillis.
All right, hold on, guys. My queen. Oh no, we both.
What?
Are you guys about ready to
water and then a dramatic pause and then
Wait,
Stop. Just stop.
Okay, stop.
You.
Lay the wall down, Nicole.
Nothing. Ignore.
You got it, little Miss Queen.
Hold on, Nicole, though, how are you feeling? Are you good over there? I'm sorry. I know we got into a tangent here for a minute.
What? No, yeah, I'm good. I'm great, thanks.
Okay, no problem. No
Is
problem.
the puppy okay? The puppy's whining again. She wants some love. God damn, Nicole, you look so freaking hot when you just stand up and walk by like that.
And you don't see what I'm seeing.
Oh, I'm imagining it.
we can't see from your
My
perspective,
face is still
Mr.
red.
Slave. We
I
can
feel
only
hot.
imagine.
My face
Ashley's
is
turning
burning.
into the raging tomato tonight.
I'm embarrassed. Like, my face is, like, beet red right now.
Why?
I don't know.
You know what? Anytime we start talking about sex, you get red. I get excited.
My dick turns red.
Greg, you are not allowed to have any sexual conversations with me. This is
I
not
can
normal.
have any conversation with anyone. You know how? Because the First Amendment.
No.
Oh, I
Like
want to answer this question or
First
allow
step,
Mr. Slade.
18 or older, check First Amendment.
Guys,
Oh, she has answered this before
guys,
on Alex's
yeah,
stream.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
wait
Nicole,
till she gets back.
Are you actually attracted to Slave, or do you just tolerate him? She specifically said that this is not her sexual type. That this is basically she enjoys using him for her services, and he enjoys being of service.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm blushing.
And then actually, like in her actual dating life, she prefers a dominant man. Like she wants to be the sub.
Oh,
So-
Nicole, I have a question. So is there anyone in your life, if you're comfortable answering, of course, Nicole, is there any man in your life that you do have a sexual relationship with currently or in the last 6 months?
One particularly?
Sure.
Not one. Not. I mean, I don't have like a steady boyfriend right now. I was seeing someone for a few months in the summer. I mean, I'm dating.
You are? Okay, good. Good for you, girl. Yeah. And Mr. Slave's obviously aware of that, or you would, I mean, that's one thing that like a lot of people were saying, or not a lot, but I saw it a few times, a comment made about Nicole saying like, talking about women being duplicitous or not speaking the truth, but I've never seen Nicole to ever say anything about the truth, to be quite honest, and I respect it. Whether you agree, whether you agree with it or not, she doesn't flounder on her points of views or her truth.
Nicole, does he ever get out of control or does things on purpose where you have to punish him?
I question it sometimes, honestly.
She said she punished him the other day.
Yeah.
So you think he's doing it on purpose to get punished?
I question it sometimes, especially in the beginning, because he was like for instance, well, even yesterday, my friend told him that she wanted sweet potatoes, chicken, and carrots for her dog, and he goes to the store and he's like, so this sweet potato is 5 pounds. If I get 3 sweet potatoes, it's 15 pounds. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, have you ever seen a 5-pound sweet potato in your life? Like, he says stupid stuff like just to make me like seriously. Like,
that's kind of funny though.
Mr.
Slave,
it's so dumb. It's like,
where's the titty slave?
Hold on, I have a question, Mr. Slave. So,
Wash, I think. Okay.
Would you ever enjoy being the quote unquote cuck or watching Nicole get railed out by another dude?
He's down for that.
Yeah, he already answered that.
Yeah, I answered that.
I probably wasn't here for it, and I apologize.
Yes,
yeah, he wants to see that.
Okay,
I mean, anything that makes her happy, anything that makes her. It's all about her. It's all about her pleasure. The universe should be sacrificed to make her happy.
He also specified, Ashley, that like girl on girl would not be appeasing to him.
I don't like that either.
Right, but like if it was her and another man and he was being humiliated like a cuckold kind of scenario, like that would be enticing.
He said gangbang. He said gangbang was his major
multiple men.
Like, here's an example. Like, if she would tell me, okay, his dick is dry, so put it in your mouth so it goes in smoother. So that would turn me on.
And you would do it?
I like that. I like hearing that.
Look at Sarah's face.
Would I do it? Would I? I mean, probably. I would probably do it, but my fantasies are actually 1,000 times worse than just putting a dick in my mouth.
Can I just, for some clarification, if she said, put his dick in your mouth because it's dry, you would do it?
Yeah. I haven't. She hasn't done it. I haven't tried. I probably would. It would probably be similar to when she told me to take off my clothes in front of 1,000 people, and I just did it.
Nicole, what is your hard line on stuff? Like, where do you draw the line?
Good question.
I've never had sex in front of anybody.
Okay.
Like, I don't do like cuckolding.
Okay.
So Nicole, would you say that your actual sexual, like truly sexual experiences that are just that's more of a private thing for you?
Well, I mean, I think all women are naturally submissive.
Yes.
I
To the right
prefer,
man.
yeah, I prefer like not being dominant to the person I'm seeing, especially in the bedroom. I'm like I prefer the man taking advantage, like not taking advantage, but like, taking the lead.
I do too. Yeah. Do you think, Nicole, that you have a very, and I mean, this might seem like a silly question based on, your side profession, which, by the way, guys, her actual profession is interior design, and she's very successful and does well at it from what I'm gathering. But would you
So
say
you
that
make
you're,
dungeons for people's homes?
She designs
would
her
you,
own
Oh, shut
dungeons.
up, self.
anyway, would you say that you're, I forgot my question now. Shit. Oh,
There's an old woman that does that. It's on Netflix. I've seen it.
Shut up, self.
damn it. Damn it, you guys. Damn it, you guys. I should have
blame
paid
Damn it,
attention.
Beavis.
I knew it. Anyway, sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. I had a good question, but
Oh, shit.
I
See?
will tell you
Got
one
punished.
interesting thing though.
do what?
I said I will tell you one interesting thing though. Being a dominatrix is very hard to get into a relationship.
Oh, I
Uh,
believe it.
I could imagine
it's
that.
it's not easy dating.
That's what I heard.
And I try, to keep it very private, but how like I have to eventually tell them because it is a part of my life, and if I do plan on that person being in my life, they're going to find out eventually, and it's better to find out like in the beginning and like know, okay, this is in my life. This is like I do this on the side, and it turns a lot of people off, to tell you the truth. A lot of guys aren't
Yeah.
open to it.
Yeah.
Nicole, has any of your
Nicole.
subs?
Even being on YouTube it's hard to get a
Yeah,
relationship.
putting yourself out there like that.
I'm just
So
saying.
Nicole,
That's
has any
because
of your
most men hate
subs?
look at this.
It's fine.
It's a Friday night. We should be out right now getting shit-faced,
Yeah.
Ashley.
Hey, so Nicole, has any of your subs ever crossed the line?
Like tried to touch me? Yeah, of course. They like, yeah. People try.
Has it even gotten even
them.
scarier than that? Like, would they have their own personal life? Has it even like ended up stalking you or anything like that?
No, thankfully, no. I mean, I actually when I dom, I go under an alias, so I don't use the name Nicole. Like I don't use my real name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
She's
they don't have
Anastasia.
they don't have my phone number or anything like that. Yeah. So
Nicole, I will say like back to the whole like saying that if you're a dom, it interferes with relationships. In the last probably 4 or 5 months, like there's been a couple guys I've gone out with, that once they find out I do YouTube content, especially anything relating to dating or sex or manosphere or anything like that, it's an immediate turnoff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I relate to you on a small scale, on that front. I really do. Like it does make it difficult for me personally. I mean, I'll make it brief, but for me personally, I care and I don't care. It's been one of the most therapeutic and absolutely just eye-opening experiences of my life so far, and I don't want to stop doing it. I don't I guess for me, maybe I hope that there's just going to be the right guy out there that can deal with what comes with it. You ever feel that way, Nicole?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I can kind of back that up again too, because from bartending for so many years, anytime like prior to getting married and even divorced and all that fun stuff, like it was really hard to date somebody because they would want to come into the bar and be at the bar and sit at the bar. And like, what does my tip consist of? Me being flirty, flirtatious, and talkative, and like, you are the last person I'm gonna fucking sit and talk to. Why? Because
going to strip. If your girlfriend's a stripper, you go there to go fucking see your girlfriend while she's stripping. It's like a bad
to go
bet.
see her
It's
naked,
bad.
right? But you're not you're not paying for lap dances, all that shit, right? But I mean,
But why would anyone put themselves in the position? Because then they have to see their woman actually doing
like
that,
the
and they
would
know
love
that
Doing the
like
job
Well,
that
like,
makes the money. And
there
I think
are
it
finding
guys
takes a
that like
special
it.
person.
I mean, I don't know, like, but there are guys that like it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
but
are
here's the
some.
thing. I don't think anybody likes clingy people. I think that's
No.
one of the biggest things. Like Nicole probably has a natural ability to deal with clingy people because she's got her subs, you know. But
But
most women,
she's admitted she's not attracted to that.
yeah, they're not.
But
It's a
she's
it's a
looking
it's
at
a job.
them as a dollar.
But
So
I
she's
do
got,
I do
yeah.
like it when guys obsess over me. I do.
And why do you like it?
Uh,
What kind of feeling or whatever? What is it about it that?
It feels good feeling wanted.
Okay, I can see that. Wanted, and then maybe more than that. Like there's because it seems to be more than just wanted, right? Like it seems to be almost coveted, worshipped, served, right? Is that I've never had that before, so I'm curious. Like I don't know, like
Go ahead, tell us your
Disclaimer,
childhood
guys.
traumas.
Ashley may or may not become a dominatrix after this episode.
Therapy, Maxine.
Just saying, just saying.
Therapy, Maxine.
No, wait. I actually got a question, Nicole. What happened?
Wait. You're about to answer?
Answer what?
Oh, there's no
I'm gonna ask
question.
about
Yeah,
the
go
game.
on.
Yeah, I asked Nicole a
Before I
question.
forget.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Did he just
sorry,
interrupt
Nicole.
you, Nicole? Slap him.
Just
I think
backhand
I
him.
missed
Play
the
front
question.
hand,
I don't-
backhand.
Wait, Sarah, were you Sarah or
Ashley
Ashley
asked.
was asking a question?
Ashley ask a question. Yeah.
I was basically just wondering what all the aspects of it of what you enjoy about the being a dominatrix thing, other than just being wanted. You know, I was asking like. I was giving examples, and maybe I shouldn't have. So I won't reiterate that. But other than just the being wanted, what is it about you besides money and being wanted that kind of turns you on to the
It's
experience?
fun. It's fun. It's easy. I mean like I get to make stripper money without taking my clothes off. It's fun to humiliate like guys, and like it's just literally it's acting. It's not like I'm like literally doing this genuinely and like hating these people and being like really like genuinely mean to them. Like it's play. But yeah.
Now, have you ever done dungeon work or no?
That's what she does, right?
Yeah, she does do dungeon work a lot, not with Mr. Slave. Go ahead,
No.
Nicole. Sorry if you wanted to go over that again. Or
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I work for a dungeon.
Dungeon match.
Sweet.
I'm totally
Sweet,
looking
because
this
like I
shit
know there's
up.
different forms of it. You got card play. You have all different types of forms of BDSM, and like Slave. Why don't you want to do the dungeon?
I don't know.
So you need to rewind the YouTube.
yeah, we did go over all of this.
We
earlier.
did.
Oh, it's
No
probably
offense,
not-
no offense to the pan. I mean, everybody's doing their, and this is live, so it's not like anyone's had a chance to rewatch it yet. But no, you're
No,
good, Nicole. I
it's
understand.
it's a good question. I'll answer it again. I mean, what I enjoy at this point, I don't know why, but I just enjoy when I enjoy sitting next to her on the floor like this. I enjoy worshiping her like this. I enjoy making her famous. I enjoy taking care of her puppy. I enjoy, like, I get the perfect joy as it is. I like being extra humiliated, like dungeon. I don't know if it's it's not at this point. It's not attracting me. I don't know why, but that's the fact. I don't know.
I want to answer this question real quick. 613 Mercs. Yeah, no, they do not have any kind of actual sexual
Yeah,
relationship. with each
no.
other.
They've clarified that on several occasions.
Yeah. There's another question in here. I'm curious. Has Mr. Slave ever accidentally ejaculated? That's a good
Ooh,
question,
good,
actually.
really good question.
I am. I'm curious. So, any of the things that you and Nicole have gone through or experienced together, has it ever made you like kind of like
when she was putting on my chastity cage? So after that, I mean, the floor was full of pre-cum.
Ooh,
Really?
The floor?
You don't remember?
No.
Yeah, I cleaned it. You told me clean it right away.
She's like, clean it up, bitch, and she walks away.
That's
Forgets
so
And
funny.
do my laundry.
Yo, I
and
got
then
a
she
question.
Do
vacuums.
my laundry. Clean up your
Take my
ejaculation.
shoes to the cobbler.
I
I
Yo.
loved that part. So Nicole said earlier that Mr. Slave will actually
She
take
had
her
her
shoes to be
shoes to
fixed.
the
Yeah,
Yeah, to be fixed.
that was a good question.
Nobody says that though. Nobody says like take my shoes to the cobbler. Like I need to go see the cobbler. Like
The
nobody
cobbler, that's what it's
I
called.
don't know what a
Like-
I'm an
cobbler is,
old
but I
bitch.
would never refer to it as
a
that.
Yeah.
cobbler is a person who makes or
Yeah.
fixes or creates shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
They
I would just
cobble.
call it like a
What
shoe
do they
repair.
call it there, Nicole? Like, what do you
Like a
call
shoe
it?
repair place.
A shoe repair place.
A cobbler.
It doesn't say. There's no sign on top of the store in the entrance that says cobbler.
But that's what it is.
Shoe
right?
repair.
It's an old
But that is what it
word.
is.
So
Okay,
so
thanks.
if you know anybody by the last name of cobbler, that means that somebody far up
From
in
their
their family
lineage.
tree was a cobbler. Like
Cobbler,
they
yeah.
actually mended, created, and did shoes.
Like Pinocchio.
Call the cobbler, they'd say.
That's funny.
Nicole, if you're comfortable answering, I always preface questions with this because
I know. I feel like we
but
prefaced this like 20 times
I
before
know,
we
it's
even got
just-
started.
I just want to be respectful.
No, I
mean,
get it. No,
I
totally
have such
agree,
a
'cause these are sensitive
reputation
questions.
for being like this, and I'm not.
Yeah,
you know?
these are very
But-
sensitive questions.
But Nicole, Mr. Slave's kind of upbringing and family. Would you kind of give us just kind of a brief synopsis of your family dynamic growing up?
My mom was very nurturing. My dad was kind of absent. Yeah.
Kind of absent, like just kind of like never there,
kinda did-
or a
He kind of
weekend
like
dad.
did his own thing. Like when I came, like my great grandma like took care of, like my mom worked like in the city, so she didn't get home until like 7 o'clock at night. So my great grandmother would watch us, even though my dad would get home earlier. He just like either watched TV or he like worked on his cars or something like that, or he didn't really want to be bothered with us. Me and my sister, referring to. So my great grandmother like kind of like raised us. He just didn't want to be bothered with kids.
Oh,
My mom-
so you
my
didn't
mom
like
was
go out for a
very,
pack of smokes and never come back. All right, good.
He was still present. He was just not.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I mean, then they got divorced, so then like I spent more time with him after they got divorced.
Really?
Well,
Why?
when I saw him, it was just one-on-one time. I never got that as like a kid, like when he was living in the house.
So maybe I guess his hard issue was like undivided attention, like being able to give that. But if it's minimalized, like, okay, I have every Tuesday and Thursday night with Nicole and her sister, then every Tuesday and night it's going to be truly devoted to Nicole and her sister. Something like that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't divided. Like, I mean, I was.
I'm
14.
just making a.
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I was 14 when they got divorced, so like they didn't like have like a time. Like he could see me whenever he wanted. I would see him maybe like once a week if I felt like it, but those couple of hours that we were together, it was just me and him. So we did things like together, like we would go out to eat or whatever.
So you
but-
still like cherish those moments that you had.
Yeah, I mean, he was my father. I love him, but
Mhm.
he wasn't as nurturing. He wasn't nurturing like my mother was. Yeah.
Which I think is a fair statement for most family dynamics anyways, because, you know, like I think even my children would say like, oh, well, my dad's not as nurturing as my mom, you know, but, you know, I think that could go a lot of ways. I think a lot of kids can say that, like mom is always there. Mom is the hug. Mom is the kiss. Mom is, I have a boo-boo. Mom is, I need help. Mom is mom, you know, like mom is everything in a lot of ways. And dad is like, so I always like to make the joke, and I always like to say, I'm changing my name to Dad, because then nobody will need me, right? Because, you know, even Mother's Day, like Mother's Day if you really sit and think about it, Mother's Day, what do all the mothers do? They fucking go away. They go to a spa, or they go with their girlfriends, or they, like something away from the kids, right? And what do we do on Father's Day? We push the kids all to the dads, and we're like, go, it's Father's Day, go be with them, right? Because moms just like naturally have an inclination to always being there, going there, logistics, working this out. I've got a boo-boo, I've got homework, I have a test, I have a project due tomorrow, I have this big freaking diagram that I need to make of some sort, and that's just what moms do, so I think your dad being there in those moments that he could be is one piece of it, later on, because like he naturally knew that your mom was already there. But also like sometimes I feel like guys feel defeated, like I've got nothing else to offer. Their mom does it all. What do I have to worry about?
Sarah, I got a question for you, because I really don't think it's just that. I think men translate their love by, hey, here's the house. I just paid the bills. I just went to work. I just did this.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm just going to be here. That sort of seems more. And I think that's like a disconnect with women.
Yes.
In marriages and father-daughter relationships.
I agree. That's why, like, it almost sounds like, Nicole, you felt more connected after your parents got a divorce, because it was undivided attention for 2 solo hours, because like that's what he knew to give you. It was like, like surface level, categorized, compartmentalized, boom, boom, 2 hours, dinner time with Nicole, boom, I got it. Right. So then you like felt even more connected because of that. But then like prior to divorce, you felt like you were saying, like he was just kind of like absent, or just kind of not there, because like he doesn't have to divide his attention. He's just kind of there. Like if you need him, he's
Greg,
there.
we're so sorry. Sometimes when Sarah drinks her Prosecco, she gets a little talky. Ashley does the same thing on many streams, but we didn't mean to not answer or give you a chance to speak. My apologies.
Guys, I mean, for us, it's already very late. Maybe we should go to sleep.
Absolutely. I don't blame you at all. I appreciate y'all's time tonight. I really do. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Mr. Slave. We appreciate this. I hope that you guys enjoyed the line of questioning, and we tried to keep it respectful, and we really wanted to just kind of get to know you guys behind all the like fun, bells and whistles, or so to speak. I feel like you both were so fucking open and honest and wonderful tonight. Like this was one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite panels I've done. So I appreciate you guys. Much respect and love. If I do come across any of those vegans or astrophysicists, Mr. Slave, I will definitely let you know.
Terrific.
Enjoy the rest of your nights. Mr. Slave, get that laundry done. Okay. All right.
The laundry's done. I have to fold it and put it away.
Well, fold it correctly.
When you're done with hers, you can drive 2 hours down and get mine done too. Please.
I would need permission.
Exactly. Oh, Nicole, thank you for giving him permission to be here tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, for sure. You can use them as much as you need.
Thank you. We really do appreciate and adore you guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your
Okay, bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, puppy.
Oh, well, that was fun, everybody. Like, I really enjoyed that.
Oh, she keeps
Sorry,
cutting off.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I know. We called the internet company and they said they're working on it. Again, we just had another hurricane.
Yeah.
So it's this time of year. It's Florida. What can you do? Joey! Milk it. Okay, that was a little much.
Oh, wait, I thought you were going tomato farmers, Joey.
No, Sarah, Joey's mine. Stop it. You have everyone else.
He said in a comment,
gotcha.
I might be a tomato farmer.
Bad, Sarah. Bad. You give me at least 2 or 3 of them. You can have 35
I want to
million
know
reps.
where all my guys are. Like, I'm sitting here horny as fuck, and none of them
Sarah,
are here.
it's Friday night. They're out
Yeah.
doing shit.
Exactly.
Okay?
They ain't
They get
doing me,
pussy.
so
They're out there living life, girl. Okay?
I know, and we're fucking YouTubing. I'm already setting my, like, you want to fuck text.
Oh my god.
I'm like, where's my black book at? Hold on.
Oh my god, I love it. I'm literally like contemplating eating my cold pizza. That's what I'm doing. You know, like that's how I am. Anyway, Self, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about while we're on stream, or like no? Because there's been a lot of shit going on lately. Or
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. There's all kinds of shit.
So much.
So much.
It's okay.
So much. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just Knight and the Bishop being passive aggressive in chats. I've been noticing. That's about it.
Yeah, he's been on here tonight. He's still a mod on my channel. I was obviously very public about not appreciating the way that he handled the private conversation that I had, and he decided to kind of blast it out and talk about, you know, I guess what everybody would call white knighting, you know, for me, because whatever. What I was going to say is that I don't need anyone to white knight for me, but at the same respect, like everybody says I'm in my masculine energy too much, but still at the end of the day, I
You
feel
just
like
got to get your simps under control, girls. That's all you got to do.
I know, but I mean, I didn't.
Do I have Sims?
Yeah, you have simps. Both of you have simps.
Well, I have been very vocal
Here, do
about
it.
not appreciating that.
Let's do an experiment. You guys set up an Amazon wish list and see if any of these guys that watch you buys anything from the wish list that you put on there.
They'll buy something on my wish list?
No, thank you.
I'm gonna put like all anal beads, vibrators.
I'm dead. For me personally, I've said it a million times. I will starve in a ditch before I'll accept handouts. And also, Sarah, you know this one. It's my favorite. Like I love people
free
like
shit though.
People like to say like, I'll cut off my nose to spite my face, or she or he will.
Ashley will cut off her fucking face.
That's my saying. I will cut off my entire face to spite.
But wouldn't it like wouldn't prostitution be a job?
Yeah.
So that you actually there you go. That you wouldn't have to starve, right?
I'll starve. I will starve. But I'm a prideful bitch. Let's just say. I am. I'm a prideful bitch.
Amazon my wish list.
Well, don't twat block Sarah from doing the Amazon wish list. Like put in the description.
We are two separate entities.
Look, I'm a cheap bitch though. Like I'm really cheap. So like I find sales and deals and things. So I'll keep it like 20 and below. We'll call it my 20 and below list.
No, our new podcast is 5 Below, which I love because Sarah and I are definitely.
That's why I'm going with the 20 and below. Like, because I mean, the average item that.
Yeah, you guys got those stores, right? 5 Below.
Yeah, we do.
We're 5 Belows.
Sarah and I are starting a new section on our podcast, and it's called 5 Below. We're not camming up, and it's just going to be us and any chicks that are sub 5s, 5 or below. And we're gonna
talk about being 5 below.
Brilliant. 5 below. 5 below.
It's not a bad idea.
Podcast. It's not, and that's our new podcast.
Somebody commented, and it was genius.
Yeah, he commented to be a troll, and he was like, "You guys, instead of this, you should call it 5 Below." And I said, "Bet." That's I'm gonna fucking do it, and I am. I thought it was brilliant. Like we're gonna call it 5 Below. And then on top of that, instead of duality, dating, and debauchery, I'm renaming it the Morning After Pillars. That's what we are. We're not black pill, red pill.
You guys got to get the merch store up because I'm going to steal the Morning After pill for sure.
I know we talked about this, but it is brilliant, isn't it? Like but Sarah knows. Sarah, you know, I've been saying this for months now. anytime anyone says like, are you black pill? Are you red pill? Are you blue pill? I'm like, I'm fucking morning after pill, bitch. Like, I don't care. You know, whatever. I do my own thing. I know.
So
I know.
how was your spur off with Allende?
You know, if you
He's a little bitch.
Hey, come on now, come on.
I'm just okay. Let me just give you because
I never called him any names.
Oh,
I'm not saying this.
technical Sarah's on right now.
I know, but do what?
No. Meaning, like, can you pull a video up real quick?
No, I'm the technical one lately, and I don't have my laptop up. Can you selfed?
No, I'm on my phone. I was gonna have Sarah do it. Sarah's usually Jamie.
I know. That's what I'm saying, and she's fucking not lately.
Sarah's not gonna be on the laptop for another week or two.
See, here's the thing, man. You could have made him rage quit in 10 seconds.
But I didn't. That was the whole point, though, Self. I didn't go on there. Everybody's like spurging out on me, saying like, you always do this, and you're just trying to piss people off. Like, no. If you want to know the truth of it, and like I posted this in my Discord, and I don't care. Like, I went on, and I've talked to Alex about this. Like, I went on for the sole purpose because, and I'm not judging or shaming or what, because fucking Destiny ended up kind of no-showing, right? He kind of like stood him up or whatever because something bigger and better, or
right,
like
something happened.
Not bigger and better. Goddamn,
something that he needed to tend to.
Thank you, Sarah. Something came up on his stream, whatever. And so he didn't show up. And so Alex was kind of sitting there with Allende, who was there to like kind of talk about a certain subject, whatever. All I know is that Alex was sitting there and they talked for a few minutes. And then he was kind of saying like, okay, well, like, I guess I'm going to call it a stream, you know? And I was in the live chat and I was like, well, hey, let's talk about the last thing from last night, you know, the lav debate. And I was like, because I never did get the chance to come on. And granted, that wasn't just Alex's fault. I actually was in and out of like running errands and like going places. And so I kept hopping off whenever he would have brought me on, etc. And Alex was like, yeah. Come on. We'll talk about it. And so if you actually watch the whole thing, like from the beginning, I was just getting on there to talk to Alex about lab.
Yeah, you came. That was your initial like, hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to come on and tell you that.
Exactly. And I wouldn't have even done that, except that I know what it's like to do. Okay, so say Sarah and I did this live stream tonight. We've entertained it. We've advertised it. We've promoted it for the last week, right? Or well, 4 days.
A couple days, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
3 or 4 days.
3-4 days. And then say that Mr. Slave and Nicole no-showed us. What would we do had we hopped on and been like, oh, here we go. And
we'd get on and we'd do yoni steaming.
Well, anyway, so like, what would you do, right? Well, you hope that you have enough friends and enough people in the YouTube community that would be in the live stream or in the clouds, so to speak, and that they would have your back. And that's honestly, I don't care. Like, I texted Alex the same thing beforehand, afterhand, and even today. Like, that is why I went on, because I was like, I saw what was going on. And I thought, okay, well, I'll hop on real quick because a lot of people were interested the night before to see what I had to say about Lav, et cetera, right? Cool. So I got on and I started talking about Lav and I was doing all this. And I was like, at least, you know, kind of help a brother out. Like, not that Alex needs help, but I mean, we all do sometimes is all I mean.
Sometimes
and
just
so
around a dialogue versus a monologue, you know, like
and so I got on and I was talking to him about that. And then I don't know Allende other than the one time that he clipped my video, which like people, I understand that looking back, like how it looks like I was upset by that. But if you know Ashley and Ashley's content, like, you know that when I'm upset about something, I'll call it out. I've never called out Allende for not tagging me in that marriage certificate thing. And so you and we've had talks, like private DMs about, you told me, you were like, hey, when you post this, make sure you put your watermark on it because people are going to, this is before Allende used it. You were like, people are going to use it. They're not going to tag you in it. And that way, at least you get the cred for it, right? So it's not like I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't care. Black v Silver happened to make a video and he said, hey, Allende, like you used Ashley, all the research Ashley and her people did, and to your advantage, and then you also snipped parts of my video and you didn't give us any credit for it. And all I did was comment on Black V Silvers, and I was like, yeah, thank you so much for doing. I'm not going to quote it exactly, but it wasn't anything, spurgy. It was just like, yeah, cool, thanks for doing that. And I was like, to this day, he still hasn't, but we'll see, And then I went back and even fucking edited that comment on Black V Silver's channel. And I said, edit, Allende tagged me in it, we're cool. And I went on Allende's channel, said the same thing. I said, hey, bro, thanks so much for tagging me in this, blah, blah, blah. I preface what I'm about to say with that because it's relevant. Because at that point I went on, after I talked to Alex about the lab stuff and I went to Allende and I was like, all right, hey, like, Allende, what's up? Like, here's how you will know me. I was honestly just making a correlation. Like, I know he doesn't
Yeah,
know
you
I
had
am.
said, like, I'm Ashley, the girl that you didn't tag me in a thing, but then somebody
Yeah, I've
asked
seen that.
for you to tag me.
I wasn't
Like, you were
saying
just
it.
saying, like, this is who I am, by the way.
And if he would have just let
his
me
immediate
talk,
response was like, well, hold up.
if he would have just let
Yeah,
me talk,
I
was
seen that.
actually going to thank him. And I
Yeah, I
did
know.
in
Well, here's
several
the
points.
thing. This is what spurred him off. I'm going to tell you, like, the inception of what happened.
Okay.
What really spurred him off was that Black V Silver made a video. So he don't like Black V Silver, not just because of that, not your video, but the Vital Messages video about him dancing for gay men
And I never
and
mentioned
doing
that.
stripping work, and
I know
you had
about
nothing.
it because
Yeah,
Sarah, I've told you about it. I didn't mention that. Never.
yeah. And here's the thing: like
I
he
was
spurred off.
respectful, actually.
He
in my
spurred off
opinion.
because Black V Silver reacted to that. So when he reacted to that, he takes it as a slight. So he thinks you're working with him. So that's what ended up.
That's the thing.
I know.
In fact, I
I'm
don't
just
even
telling you.
like.
I'm just telling you his brain. What he thought.
You and I have actually had DMs together. You and I have actually video fucking FaceTimed and chatted together. I know you. I've never done that with Black V Silver. No idea. We have emailed a few times. That's as much as I know Black V Silver. Honestly. Honest to God.
Yeah. No, he just hates Black V Silver, and you just took the cannon fodder off of it because he ever since that the Authentic Alphas Sizzle Miami thing that we did on the Vital Message when we exposed him live to his face and he called his handler live on the air. He's always had a problem with like all of us, and he thinks like Black V Silver works with us and shit. But that's not the case.
What? I mean, like, I just kind of I get tired of it, and I know it sounds contradictory of myself, but I actually do get tired of it because, like, people keep saying, like, well, Ashley just went on there for the sole purpose of exposing another dude. No, I didn't. I'm not. Like, I don't care. I legit. Sorry, I'm getting worked up.
You
But
initially asked him a question.
Real quick, Sarah, but like, I honestly don't. I honestly don't, and I didn't care about a goddamn thing about Allende at all. I went on there to help Alex out, and I don't say help because he needed it. I say help because I consider him a YouTube friend. And I saw what was going on, and that fucking sucks when your live stream gets fucked like that. It sucks. And I thought, okay, whatever. Like, I texted him and was like, hey, let me come on and talk about fucking, Lav and what went on since I never came on last night. He was like, all right, cool. And then we'll call a stream. And I was like, all right, cool. And if you watch the thing, like, that's what I talked about. And then I happened to be like, oh, so I ended. You and I'll know each other for this reason. That was it. I thought maybe it would start a conversation where Allende would be like, well, this is that. And I was actually, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I'm planning on being kind of humble and being like, thank you very much for mentioning me in that video and actually taking the time to notice that you didn't. My whole point wasn't like, hey, you're a bitch because you didn't mention. No. And people just think that I have this shit like pre-planned and whatever. And they're like, Ashley, you need to quit spurging out on people. And I'm like, Okay, so I'm just curious, like, how should I, or any female, but especially someone like me who is a little bit outspoken, how am I supposed to react to a male that reacts to me in the way Allende did, which is very defensive and yelling
Dude,
and just.
I would have told you not even to go on. To be honest with you, with him,
I feel you.
he done it to Mika. He's done it to quite a few women.
Yeah.
He does this. So,
But
like, that's why he doesn't have any women on his podcast anymore,
I
because he
wasn't
does
going
this.
on for him, though. I went on for
Yeah, I know.
Alex.
I know you were going
You
on for
know-
Alex. But here's the thing: is like, I just wouldn't have went on because he was there. But you didn't know the beast of the. You don't really know him, so.
I don't. I don't. And I think it offended him that I didn't. I think he was offended when I was like, well, I don't know you except for that one time you clicked my thing and then didn't and then did mention me, whatever. Like, I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. And for him to spurg out on me like that, and like, I'm sorry and I'm not sorry at the same time, but like, if you cannot actually back up your statements, and if you can sit there and say, like, you know, I'm basically a hypocrite. I just can't. Like, he was sitting there going like, you're just doing this because you want attention and blah blah blah, and then in the same breath saying the only reason you do certain things is because you want the account and attention. Maybe this is a character flaw, maybe, but like, I can't sit and just listen to that when I'm like, you are literally the pot calling the kettle black.
Here's the thing, and like, I have my own weird summations about him. Is like, I don't think he really knows how to talk to women, because I won't say it online. Like, I'll say it back.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, whatever. I respect everybody's wishes, to be quite honest. It's fine. I get what you're saying, though. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I feel like it. I know I'm getting a reputation. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to change.
But who are you getting a reputation with against other hyperbolic content creators that do crazy shit? That's who you're taking on. So how is that bad reflection on you?
I don't know,
you know what I mean?
it is. People are hating. People are like legitimately planning like a war against me right now. And I mean, you know, and I feel like I understand that
war. I like war. So who's starting the war?
Coach White Pill, supposedly. I don't know. I'm not naming names or saying anything other than that, but like, I have heard that he is planning on actually really hardcore coming after me. So whatever. I mean,
he's really going to come after you hardcore?
He likes to. I'm sorry.
Who's coming after you hardcore? Allende or White Pill?
White Pill.
What does he have?
In my opinion, he's being backed by John Anthony. I believe it.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. We know. But, you know, like, the thing with it is like, oh, well, they want to launch an attack, dude. Any publicity is good publicity. Let them do it. You want hit pieces. Who cares?
I know,
Let
but
them do it.
I think that, like, I think that lately, like, with the whole John Anthony thing that started out is like when people were threatening certain family members and shit of mine, and I did get emotional about it. I think that if I'm looking at it from everyone else's point of view, I would think that, like, well, if that bothers you and you're upset and you're crying over it a couple times, then why would you continue to go after or take on anybody? And here's my point of view on it, is that I'm not intentionally doing this. Like, I end up in these situations and I can't sit there.
No, because if you were going to go for the jugular on him, you would have done your research. If you were actually going to go after him,
thank you.
You would have done your fucking research.
Thank you.
You would have brought up the Sizzle Miami shit. You would have totally annihilated him. So
thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
I appreciate that.
it just looked like you went up there when you were talking with Alex. You were like, "Oh, you know, thanks for making me wait on laughing because now I can actually like get my head together," type of thing. That's what you're telling them.
Exactly.
And then you were
Thank
trying to say,
you.
"Hey, thanks for tagging me." But like I told you before, I said watermark all your stuff, put your logo everywhere when you make a video on anything, because these guys will steal it and they'll use it as content, and
Yeah.
they won't give you any credit.
And you know what? You proved your point. I mean, this proved your point to me. Lesson learned. Like I get it now. I get it. And here, oh my God, though. The whole thing is like everybody, and Allende himself was like, you just think because you did this and that, like, but no, like I literally brought it up because that was the only connection I had with you, bro. I don't know you outside of this. Like, I'm sorry. I honestly you know me. Like, I know a lot of people just, you know how YouTube is. Like, they're going to see like clips or hit pieces, and it's like where Ashley's like, well, fuck you pussy ass bitch. I mean, I get it. But like with Allende, I've never attacked him. I've never even, anyway, but whew.
These hit pieces, like Black Sea Silver found out real quick for me with hit pieces. I was like, thank you for that. And he got really pissed about that. Because, hey, if you're going to make a hit piece about me, dude, go ahead, man. I'll take all the more subs that you want to keep giving me. Yeah, and that's the way you got to look at it.
That's true. It's true. It's all good. I mean, I find so far anyways, and I can only speak of what I know. Like I said, I don't know the guy very well, just outside of, content creation. And
that make us doms that we have subs?
Do what?
Does that make us doms that we have subs?
I don't know. I guess so. A little bit. I guess we're a little bit dumb since we have subs. But like, I don't know. The whole thing was kind of just funny to me, and like all these people that are just going after me again, which is, hey, fair is fair. Fair is fair, I just feel like I feel like the only people I've ever had actual conflicts with, in my opinion and my sense of morality, right? I feel like they deserved it. It wasn't like like with the John Anthony thing, I never liked the guy. I thought he was a piece of shit. And I said that many times before I hosted that live with Natty, but I said it in comments or during live stream chats. Like, it wasn't a big deal to me to the point that I'd go after him, because he never personally affected my life, right? But the moment that like I decided, my friend Natty, to host her and talk about something, which I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're a YouTube content creator and there's some big thing that just got dropped, and like you have the opportunity to get the drop on having that person on your channel first, you're gonna fucking do it. And to anybody that says they won't, you're only saying that because whoever it was on or wasn't on was or was not a friend of yours. So fuck off. And I had Natty on and we talked about it. The only reason I went after him, so to speak, is because he fucking went after me. He went after me. The biggest hypocrite in the world went after me, threatening my livelihood, my family, my home, my job, whatever. Like, of course, And I can say with great confidence that any actual person, and not even in the manosphere, but just in this whole entire YouTube community, that I've ever spoken negatively of or gone after, so to speak, it has been something like that, because they deserved it and because they actively threatened me first or whatever. I don't know. The Allende thing was...
You're talking to me like you're trying to like whatever called this to me. You got to remember. You remember you're talking to a.
Hold on. Sarah didn't even know about the Allende thing until what, like an hour before we did this.
3 hours ago.
She didn't even know, because that's how much I don't give a fuck about that person and never even thought about him.
Yeah.
I
didn't know about it.
You don't justify you guys going after anyone, because this is what we do. Like, we go after people that sell courses and shit like that, and then we just dig up what we dig up. I mean, we don't dox nobody, but we show the hypocrisy of what they're doing. Like with Allende, him saying that he's this authentic alpha and all this other stuff, but for a decade, it's been dancing for men, nude. Like,
well, why do you think I chose the thumbnail I did for the video? Okay. And I would have never done that.
And you know what's weird? His name is
acted like a total fucking asshole to me.
His stage name is Ashton. Pretty close to Ashley. You guys
and
really
you
need,
know,
like,
you
if you're
both are like almost each other's like match too. Like you're both very condescending. You're both very like assholishness. You know, like it was actually like it's a very perfect match. You guys should like just bone this one out.
Well, Sarah, like I went on there and I actually even said it a couple times. I was like, Allende, I'm not here to attack you. I think we could probably relate in a lot of ways. Like
I heard that a lot.
This is why I say he got spurred out because of Black v Silver, because he brought up QB. He brought up QB in that whole fight with you.
And I happen to be a QB fan personally. I don't care what any of you in the clouds or the chat think. I like QB. I do. I like him. And do you know why? Because he's always treated me very kindly. And he's always treated me with respect. Just like, I mean, that's how I base the way I feel off of anyone. Is like, did you treat me with respect? And did you treat me kindly? To be quite honest, if I do go into it that way, Allende, my first ever experience, quote unquote, with him, he didn't. I mean, just like last night.
He was defensive.
No, I mean, just like last night, he admitted the very first time I had anything to do with him, he said, yeah, I used what you did and you took the time to do your research and you did the work for me and I used it for my benefit. So what?
Yeah.
Sums you up, bitch. Sums you up right there. And even after he said that, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. If you watch the whole thing, guys,
I did.
Not just, I know you did, but like if you watch the whole thing and not just the clip I made of it, the motherfucker, I'm sorry, but if you've ever seen me actually go after or spurg out on someone, you know how that goes. I didn't with Allende.
Yeah.
I was actually very fucking behaved for me.
Well, kind of. You got your little punches in too. Shut up.
But he asked for it. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, he was dressed a certain way. He was asking for it, huh, Ashley?
Come on now. You know how I operate. Like if you're gonna sit there and call me out.
Look, it looks like Sarah's rolling a blunt. Look at that. Like how she's like.
I'm just saying, dog.
He I don't know. In my opinion, for the way that I normally go after someone, it's a lot harder than that. I didn't actually I know myself obviously, and like typically like with Coach Whitepill, I'll hop on and I'll be like, guess what? You're a fucking bitch. With Allende, I didn't do that. I was just like, hey, you did this one thing. This is how I know you and how we can relate. But thank you for mentioning me later. And also, I think that you and I are a lot alike in some ways. Let's go off of that from here. I was trying to just get the stream going. Honestly. That's what I wasn't trying to sit there and like just like ambush somebody. I really wasn't though.
No, you weren't. I know. You're making friends. You're making friends in the manosphere. How do you like it?
Yeah, exactly. Lots of friends. Like whatever, you know, it is what it is.
Dude, I'm in the same boat. You know how many of these guys hate me? I don't care. You just gotta run it the way it is. I mean, legitimately, you didn't go up there with malicious intent. You did put your little like your jabs in there here and there when he started coming at you.
Exactly. But I'm not going to allow someone to stab at me and not
he does that
back.
to everyone. He gaslights every woman that he talks to. Every woman, every conversation you see him with a woman, he's gaslighting them. Like he'll agree. Remember, he was doing it with you because he was like agreeing with you, like, oh yeah, thank you, but I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like it was like he's like does it double-handedly. That's how the best way I can put
He
it.
really does. He or did. I don't. Again, I can't speak on his past content, though. I
can.
I very much so trust your judgment and assessment of it, though, because I know you. I know that you do your homework, so I appreciate and I respect and I believe it. But for me, for just speaking anecdotally, like I don't know. I only know so far, what are my two experiences with Diane Day? One, he used my content without, giving me credit for it. Cool, whatever. I commented and said, hey, I'm the one that did this. Would you mind tagging me? A week later, he did. And I even went back and edited my comment. And I said, thank you so much for tagging me. I really appreciate that. Does that sound like the Ashley that goes after John Anthony to you, Self?
No.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't have an actual problem with him at all.
Well,
I don't fucking care. He's never wronged me, so I don't give a fuck.
So like now people are all upset. Now they're saying they're gonna like, who's all pissed? Like, is it like that people, or is it like content creators, or who is it?
Oh, both. I think
he took in this year alone. He took 4 losses. All right. The 4 losses he took was when he went on the Vital Message and producers exposed him for doing what he does. The second loss was that he rage quit a day before that you did that, and then he rage quits on you. So,
and I didn't even, I wasn't lying when I said I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. I heard about it, sure. I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't even to this minute. I still haven't even watched that when he rage quit on Eurodite, because I've made it very public that I don't like Eurodite, so I don't watch her.
Did you call her Eurodite? Did you call her Eurodite? I think you're just like, he naturally said Eurodite.
Freudian slip. I'm sorry. No shaming. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to.
I think you're right,
boys
though.
and girls, I've got soccer games in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. No,
so
we'll call it a night, guys. But I appreciate this. I really do. Thanks for coming on, Self. I do appreciate you always. I really do. Like this is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about last night, by the way, when I like hit you up on IG and I was like, hey, you awake? Like I was like, dude, this just happened. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, I don't even know. Because I didn't even see it coming. I had no idea it was coming. But all right, Sarah, good night. Love you.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
But yeah, dude, like I don't know. Like I don't know. I think that, well, I know that you, Self, know me well enough as a content creator or whatever by now that like, that like that was not the Ashley that's intentionally trying to go after someone. Like I didn't. Like,
no,
that
I know.
was me just whatever, and I mean, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? But like, bro, like, I don't know. Now, whatever. Now it is what it is, and it gave Coach Whitepill the ammunition I guess he felt like he needed. Did you happen to see the comments that he left on Alex's stream though?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Oh, well, there's about 507 of them, so have fun reading that. Basically, he's using this as his quote unquote excuse to be against Alex now, right? And in my opinion, and I have some other people telling me that like, dude, he's planning on coming after you with someone bigger backing him. And I'm pretty sure, and I'm, in my opinion, I feel like it's probably Johnny. I'm just saying. But this is his excuse to not fucking to not be I guess an Alex ally anymore, and to be able to just fully embrace the fact that John Anthony's the one pulling his strings. That's what I think, honestly. And I'm just saying, that's why I released that I don't know if you saw it or whatever, but like I made a music video earlier, like, and I know it's hard to read everybody's like, it's hard to read the comments, and it's like, that's not the point. The point is like, if you know what's going on, you know. And the point is the sentiment behind the song. And it's like, they're coming after me now. Like, and it's all these little fucking bitches. It's all these bitches coming after me. That's what it is. And whatever. Come on. Bring it on, bitches. Bring it on. Let's go. Just don't fucking threaten to dox my kids. You fucking pathetic human beings.
Don't
Go
feed the
after
troll.
me.
Don't feed the trolls. Like, don't tell them that you don't want them to do that. Just tell them to bring it. Because, like, here's the thing.
Yeah, but so far, the actual real trolls, the only thing they've been able to bring is to threaten to dox family members of mine. That's the only thing. Other than that, nothing they've said.
Well, they're going to continually keep doing that, Ashley, if you keep stating that it, like, aggravates you. You know what I mean?
You're right.
A troll wants to be fed, so a fed troll will always keep using the same narrative. Now, like, what you're doing is, like, you're doing... Yeah, like, you want them to do smoke at you, so... Trust me.
I fucking welcome it because I know for a fact that I can back up any goddamn thing I've ever done or said. I'm not worried about that. That's what I base my whole platform on.
Yeah, they won't be able to handle it.
I know they can't. That's why they take the cheap shots. That's why. It's pathetic, it's lame, and it's cowardly.
Welcome. You know what? For a place full of men, they sure act like a bunch of bitches. That's the best way to put it.
You know what? I couldn't have ever agreed with you more than right now, Sylph. I feel you. I feel you. And again, like, I know I'm getting this reputation, you know, but whatever. Whatever.
You know, your reputation precedes you. Like, when I go into a chat and, like, half the chat leaves, that's when you know you're there.
Base. Yes.
When you come on the panel, like when I came on the panel with what's his name, half the chat goes crazy, and then they all start throwing popcorn up because they know I'm going to go in.
Because they know it's like, you wouldn't be saying this if you didn't have a goddamn fucking reason.
Yeah, you're going to get that one. Trust me.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess my whole point is, like, I'm not out here just trying to bust balls and, like, find these people that I have had I mean, no offense to you or Caduceus or anyone, but, like, you, me, Caduceus, we've had our disagreements on things before, but we worked it out ourselves. Like, it's not like
you were on your period. That's fine.
Exactly, or whatever. The fact is that, like, if there's a reason behind it, whether it's this, that, or the other, like, I will admit where I'm just being overly emotional or wrong, or vice versa, and we can talk it out. I don't have a problem admitting that. Like, sorry, but the other night I was actually on one of Greg's streams, and this guy came on. And he was like a big John Anthony supporter, you know, and whatever. And I kind of went after him for a minute. And then my internet spurred out because, you know, that's an Ashley thing. And then, but after it came back on, like, I was sitting there and I was like, I shouldn't have done that because it's really not based, you know. I came back on Greg's stream and I actually apologized to the guy. I did. I said, you know what? I'm really sorry. Like, I was taking out my personal feelings about this other person on you, and that wasn't fair. Like, you haven't done anything to me. That's what I'm saying, is, like, I'm not just a dick to be a dick. Like, I don't know, whatever. And I don't even care about Ayende anymore. Like, I'm not planning on making any videos about it or anything outside of what I did. I mean, it happened. He treated me shitty and kind of, in my opinion, acted like I don't know, I don't want to call names like I have with Coach Whitepill, who's a fucking cuck-ass bitch. And everybody has a problem with me saying that, but fuck you, Coach Whitepill. But I mean, I don't feel that way about Ayende, whatever. Like, I mean, he kind of spurred out on me and, like, he asked for it, in my opinion. And what am I supposed to do? be on a
Yeah.
live stream with all these people watching and sit there and take it like a little fucking bitch. No, you want to actually like come at me like this, then I'm gonna just be real with you then. Like, okay.
Legitimately, I think me and Caduce have told you this before, is anywhere you go, and he was not on his own stream either, right? And you weren't on your own stream.
Nope.
So he has to look at it like it's enemy territory because anyone could come on there. You already know this because we told you. Even you going on there, you're going into enemy territory because it's not your stream. There's nothing wrong with that. There's benefits to this.
Yeah.
But he should have known it's not. There's no such thing as safe spaces in YouTube.
There's not. And him to claim that like he had no idea this was going to be a debate style platform or stream when the title of it literally has debate in it. And then right before that he admitted, well, yeah, I was told it was going to be a debate. And I thought, so is it, I mean, like, huh? Like what? Like, so me being an obvious lover of debate and argument are being someone who loves debate and then being someone who's argumentative, they do kind of go hand in hand. But at the same time, if you can be respectful, I can, and I have shown a million times I can be respectful. I think that the problem is, and it's not a problem, like you said, all publicity, right? Like it's good.
Yeah.
But like, I think that the pieces, the hit pieces, or the things that people see or tend to share, the times when I happen to call people out for their shit, that's not my fault though. You're literally sharing like 5 or 6 times out of 57. Like if you really want to go there, I can.
Yeah.
There's been so many times I've had incredibly respectful debates or disagreements with people where I have never, ever, anytime somebody feels like they're calling you out or they're doing this or that, it's because they quote unquote lost. They lost.
Yeah. When they
showed
spurred
their
out.
ass.
Well, just like Erudite, when she spurred down on Caduceus, she lost the debate.
She did.
First off, she lost the debate because she's from Canada. Who gives a fuck? Like, how are you going to tell us about our dating experience in America when you live in a socialistic country that has council houses and free medical and everything else while we're over here in a capitalistic society? And that was a big thing I did to Roma Army when I asked her that question. It threw her all off throughout that whole interview. And,
but to go off of that is like, oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I know I lost my train of thought. I read somebody's comment and I know what I wanted to say, but like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like when you say like, dude, I have spurred people out by a super chat. I have spurred people out by just a comment in a regular chat. Spurred them out on panel.
I've seen it. I know.
And
you're hilarious.
The thing about it is like, dude, I think I'm up to like 550 subs without putting out real massive content. I put out content here and there, but for my channel to have that many subs from trolling and going on, starting from like 100. Yeah. And this has only been in a 6-month time period.
Dude,
a little less than that.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's been
that's cool as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little less than that. I mean, then we did the interview on Caduceus when my album came out, and that had 11K views. Things like that. Like, it's really good. Like, here's the thing that I see with Alex. Like, me and him had our disagreements. I like to troll him. He just doesn't have a sense of humor.
I love Alex, but
But he, where I see his point of view of lacking in the space is that is all going to come crumbling down if he doesn't start adjusting. Meaning, like he's got a good network and he knows how to network with people. Now he gets people on there that most people can't get on their other channels. Cool, but one thing I see that's like a big misfire on his behalf is he has no mods in his chat but Indian PE and Greg.
And now he's got Natty and he's modding Michelle. And that's something that we've all talked about. And he's getting on top.
For 400 people in the chat, there really should be 40 moderators.
I know, right? Yeah. No, he knows. He knows. He's working on that. He is. I mean, he's not really had this much controversy though in the past.
No.
I mean, if you look back at the history of it, he really hasn't. It's lately that it's since he's become well, I don't want to speak for him, but in I guess in my opinion, he's gotten a little bit more erring on the side of a debate platform than a dating platform, which that's the only reason, probably not the only, biggest reason why I'm such a fan is because I love that. I love challenging other people's points of views. I love debate, yada yada. So him doing that though, it is unfortunately or fortunately, but it's gotten him a lot of trolls and haters. And so I think he's just now kind of getting on board with the whole, I need to have some more, like the quote unquote, like criteria he needs to meet in order to sustain this type of platform, right?
You know what? Like, here's the thing. Here's a misstep he did when the Bachelor, the Black Pill Bachelorette. He knows for goddamn that 80% of his chats are black pillars, or people show up for the black pill.
Mm-hmm.
If he wouldn't have named it the same thing Caduceus named it, he would have had a bigger showing. You dipped.
I'm here.
Yeah, he would have had a bigger showing. You know,
I think so.
The black pill, it's been a running joke inside the black pill.
I didn't know that. Like, I honestly, this is the first time hearing of that. Yeah.
Yeah, the black pill keeps him on life support. They always have. Half those people on there are raging because they don't like him. Got you. And then when he does his huge numbers, is when he does put black pill in the title.
I love this. Tell me more about your metalcore background. I don't care about this stuff anymore. Yes, I do. We'll get into that on another stream. It's all good.
What'd they ask?
Tell me more about your metalcore background. Ashley dope, but she tripping right now. No, I know. I mean, this is just shit that only a certain few people care about, but just trust me, it's coming. Like, that was the whole point of my video earlier. Like, I know, like, whatever. I mean, it's silly, but like, I'm telling you right now, like, you heard it here first, bros. Like, there's gonna be some hit pieces coming out on me soon. I know it, and it is what it is. Whatever. I don't. And
you gotta love it. Every minute of it, you gotta love it, because
whatever.
They're bringing more people to your page to see what the fuck's going on.
All right. You know, there's certain people, I'm not going to say, this is how petty I am. And if you want to know who, you can go back and watch the music video, pause it, and zoom in on the text to see who I'm talking about. Because I don't fucking care. I'm not going to tag them and I'm not going to mention them. But there are creators out there that have been coming after me now for a while. Self, do you know who I'm talking about? I've told you many times. I mean, it is what it is, whatever. But when
we end it, I have some information about something.
Cool. But I have given these certain people, you know, time and fucking time again to actually address their issues with me. Let's I hate to use this term, but it's, you know, like men. Let's grab our balls and let's fucking discuss this and actually be real with each other. But no, we'll just be passive aggressively tagging each other and stuff and being little bitches. Cool, whatever. That's fine. You know, I'm just going to keep being me and doing what I do. And that's kind of what my post the other night was about, or I guess it was last night. God, days running together. But like, you know, like, I will take advice. I will take it with more than a grain of salt. I'll actually take it to heart. But at the end of the day, I'm me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be me. And I'm going to, like, who am I and what makes me, you know, likable or dislikable or unlikable to certain people, right?
Yeah.
it's me, and I can't help that.
Here's,
I'm sorry that I'm not.
here's
I'm
the fact
sorry
about
that I'm not. Go
here's
ahead.
the thing about charismatic people, and they're gonna like you or they're gonna hate you. There's no in between. Charismatic people,
Yeah.
there's people that really like me, and there's people that really fucking hate me, and I don't really care. Go fuck yourself if you don't like me. And like,
Yeah.
that's one thing you're gonna figure out. Like, I think you've already figured that out. That charismatic people have that. Just it's a polarizing thing, hate or love. There's no like, I'm in the middle about it. No, they actually hate or they love you. And then a lot of the times, if they come here raging, sometimes they become, your fans because
Yeah.
they sit here and hear what you have to say.
Or they give you those hate views.
Yeah, love them. Everyone
Thank
lurking.
you. Everyone, thanks. Yeah, exactly. Whatever, whatever. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this stream. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. It is pretty fucking late on the East Coast here, and I just want to thank everybody for viewing, sticking around, supporting or hating, whatever it is you do. I still appreciate the views, the comments, and all those hate shares. Bring them on. All right, bye guys. Good night.